Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Alexiot's here, and a new microphone. It's Monday morning, New Year's Day, and we're playing the Cleveland Cavaliers here in Toronto tonight at Scotiabank Arena. Last home game for a while. Going to be going out west after this. It's a new era. It is the new RJ era. RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickly, going to do media today here in Toronto during the day. Interviews, come say hi, take their new jerseys, show them off, come to the arena, answer some questions, suit up, play a game. Hopefully, we'll see. I'm really hoping that they play tonight. That would be good if we saw them. How's the mic sounding, guys? Is it sounding good? Is it working out all right? It's a Yeti. It's a Yeti. I don't know. I just hooked it in. I don't even know if I did this right with the installation. Seems like I'm getting a reading. All right, that's good. All right, well, let's start things off today with the normal stuff. Let's go with the latest lineup news real quick. First of all, for Cleveland, of course, it was well publicized that two of their main players are going to be out for a little bit with surgery. We got Evan Mobley, who had arthroscopic surgery on his left knee, and he's been out for a bit. He will not be playing today, Evan Mobley. Darius Garland also was diagnosed with a fractured jaw, and he's out for that right now. So two very important players for the Cavs not available for the game today. Of course, Ricky Rubio has been away because of mental health issues, and I don't know if he's actually ever going to play in the NBA again. I think that Ricky's probably going to retire soon. We'll see. And Ty Jerome will not play today against the Raptors. It's his ankle. So those are the Cleveland injuries. And I'm looking at their lineup. It's basically Donovan Mitchell, Max Strus, Isaac Okoro, Dean Wade, Jarrett Allen, Craig Porter, Sam Merrill, Karis LeVert, Georges Niang, Tristan Thompson. Excuse me. I drank some tea already this morning. Damian Jones and Imani Bates. Yeah, so this is the Cleveland team. They're missing some very important starters as far as Garland and Mobley. So I guess that's kind of catching a break for the Raptors, I guess. I'm holding it. I don't know. I'm going to have to figure this out. I need something to sit it on or something. I don't know. If I sit it down here, maybe it's too low. You can't see it. I want to show it off a little bit. Let's see. For Toronto, our injuries are such. Garrett Temple is doubtful for today's game. We'll probably see him on the sidelines looking like a coach with his really decked out suit. And, that's not bad. I like the encouragement that Garrett and the vets have been giving the guys from the bench, especially in the last game. When things were going a certain way, the whole bench got up off their chair and they were standing and rooting for them in the last game we had. It was really nice to see the support. And, of course, Christian Koloko will not play today as per this whole season so far, which is really annoying. Nobody else listed, which is good. And we see that RJ and Emmanuel are on our roster now. RJ Barrett, number 9, of course, out of Duke. And then Emmanuel Quickly is going to be wearing number 5. That'll be Precious's number. Go right to Emmanuel out of Kentucky. So, yeah, I'm excited about seeing these guys today. Hopefully we'll get to see them out on the court and doing really, really good things. Here's our ref crew for today. Our first ref is crew chief Kevin Cutler, number 34. His 15th season out of Los Angeles, California. His favorite TV show is Homicide, Life on the Street. His favorite musician is Luther Vandross. His favorite book is Positive Intelligence. He likes to eat chicken. He'd most like to visit Africa. And he can play the trumpet, y'all. Kevin Cutler considers his most memorable NBA assignment to be his first playoff game, the Rockets versus the Timberwolves, in the first round series on April the 21st, 2018. There you go. Kevin Cutler is a favorable ref for the Raptors. He is the best ref today out of all 3 refs. So I guess if we're going to have one of the refs be on our side, it should be the crew chief. We win 53% of our games when Kevin Cutler is refereeing. Meanwhile, the Cleveland Cavaliers win 42% of their games. So 53-42, the split with the crew chief for the Raptors. The second ref is Scott Twardowski, number 52. We've had Scott recent weeks. We lost the last time Scott refed us. 14th season out of Washington. His favorite TV show is MASH. He likes the book Core 52. His meal is steak and mushrooms. He likes to play pinochle. He'd most like to visit Norway. His bucket list is to photograph hot air balloon festivals around the world, and his hidden talent is landscape and astrophotography. So he likes taking pictures of space, I guess, through telescopes. Uh, Twardowski is refereed for 6 seasons in the NBA G League, where he officiated the G League All-Star Game and Finals in 2011. He also has 7 seasons of WNBA refereeing experience, which includes working the 2010 Finals and the 2011 All-Star Game. Now, Scott is not totally a favorable ref for us, guys. We lost the last game, as I said. We win 46% of our games when Scott's around, and the Cavs win 53%. So the split is for the Cavs, 46 to 53, Scott Twardowski. The last ref is one of the top 5 worst refs for the Raptors in the league. In his 5th season out of Baltimore, Maryland, it's Sayesh Mehta. Sayesh has been a controversial ref at times recently with some of the calls and interaction with other players in other games. So he's been a little bit under the microscope lately. That's for sure. I think he was the referee that was getting into it with it was either with Dylan Brooks or somebody. He's gotten into it with somebody recently. Favorite TV show is The Office. He likes the movie Slumdog Millionaire. He has really good taste in music because he's all about that old-time rock and roll with Bob Seger. His favorite book is The Alchemist. His favorite app is Spotify. His favorite meal is butter chicken with garlic naan. And he'd most like to visit South Africa. And his hidden talent is he plays badminton. That's right. Sayesh is the former neurobiology and physiobiology student at the University of Maryland. Then he quit doctor school and he went and became a referee. I'm sure his parents feel real happy about that. real happy about that. He's a ref instead of going into medicine. All right. As I said, Sayesh is not good for us. He's at the very bottom of my spreadsheet. We lost the last game he ref for us this season. We win 31% of our games under him. He's absolutely bottom 5. And meanwhile, the Cavs are winning 47% of their games. So 31-47 for the Cavs with Sayesh Mehta. So 2 out of the 3 refs are for the Cavs. The crew chief is for us, though. I'll take that. That's something there. There's your ref report. There's your latest lineup news. Let's go to the comments. Trevor Jace, good morning, Raptors family. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you, Trevor J. It's 2024. Happy New Year. That's right. I got a new microphone. I hope it sounds good, y'all. As we put 2023 behind, 2 letters blow in the winds and breathe in fresh air, air off fresh breath of air, fresh breath of 2024. Look forward to new day, new way of thinking by being more. Two letters blowing the wind. Are you saying R and J? Is that the letters that are blowing in the wind, Trevor J? I'm wondering about that. Is RJ familiar to Trevor J? I'm wondering about this. Positive, less negative, more loving, more giving, less gossip. Most of all, be happy. Happy game day. Let's go, Raptors. You can do this. Thank you, Trevor J. I appreciate that. Trevor J's got the Raptors on blast. Siakam, Barnes, Schroeder, Pirtle, Grady, Gary, and Darko. I've got to figure out how to switch these. I spent a little bit of time last night trying to switch them around, and I don't know how Tom did it. I don't know how he set up the emotes and where it is on YouTube. So I'm trying to figure out how to put RJ back in and take OG and Precious out and put maybe a manual in too. But I'm going to have to ask Tom to come back and just do it real quick. Maybe he'll do it real nice for me real quick. Dana's here. Good to see Canadian Dana first thing in the new year of 2024. Happy New Year's, good morning, everyone. Happy game day. I can't wait for tonight. This is going to be fun. I really hope they play. I hope there isn't any kind of like weird thing that holds them up, like a stupid medical thing or something like that. Or, they're in Toronto. You saw them on Instagram last night, Emmanuel Quickly getting to his hotel yesterday, and they had 3 fresh Raptor Red number 5s with Quickly on the back, quickly made for him in his hotel. Also some coffee crisp and some Craig's cookies from downtown Toronto. Craig's Cookies, cookie company here in Toronto. But yeah, it's good to see that he's in town. And I'm pretty sure RJ is too. But no sure signs of RJ for sure. But I do hear they're going to be made available to the media sometime this afternoon. And hopefully they're suiting up for Coach Darko tonight. 7:30 tip-off against Cleveland Cavaliers, New Year's Day game. Let's go. All right, let's see. Trevor J. saying, can't wait to see the new look Raptors. It's going to be fun time again. Yeah, I can't wait to see this either. You're coming home, RJ. You're coming home. Yeah. Josh Monroe saying the team's going to have new life and energy, will give Scotty a boost and options to play with. Very exciting time right now. I agree. A lot of analysts are looking at the idea of Emmanuel quickly next to Scotty Barnes, and they think it's a winning combination. Just the idea of the speed coming down the court and the versatility of playing off each other. Also, a lot of people really like the idea that quickly is a small guard that really is kind of like off guard and not totally a point guard, and they want that to fit with Scott in that kind of way too, so that he can get more primary ball handling duties with quickly out there, because he doesn't necessarily want to have the ball all the time. So there's a lot of interesting things about the whole thing right now. I'm really excited about it. Now, I would say this, the energy coming from these guys showing up, sometimes that means a win. A fresh new look can sometimes mean a win, even though it may not work right away. We'll have to see. But sometimes the energy and the enthusiasm and excitement of new players coming into the team, and also old players wanting to step up and show that they still want to keep certain jobs and do certain things and stuff like that. Sometimes you can get a really good effort after a big trade and people coming into the game. So I'm excited to see if the Raptors get a win tonight. I'd really very much like to see that. Once again, we're playing an opponent that's missing key players, and they have a real good excuse if they lose. And in some ways, us not beating them, well, that's not as good. Sorry, tea break. All right, let's see. Dana's saying Mike sounds nice. Okay, I hope this is like an improvement. We're trying to upgrade the channel and get things better. Your son has a Yeti also? Okay, yeah. I've seen a Yeti this morning. Woo! Good morning, Jillian. Good morning to you. Yeah, you know what, Jillian? I read your comment just before I came on here. And I may be being totally unfair to Scott right now. I'll admit this. I love Scotty. I'm once again just really want him to be the absolute best player he can be in the NBA. And I also want him to be the best player for the Raptors. That's very important to me too. And the thing is, I just don't want him to get in his own way. That's all it is. It's only all said with love. And I may be completely wrong and off base and really, really, really wrong. And I will admit it. But I have to try and look at everything from all possibilities. And to me, vets and people that have been around that have proven track records of getting along with people are the people I'm not going to think that is the problem. Because, I mean, there's people that have been in this league for like 7-8 years that I have not had any issues with anybody before. And those are not people that I'm going to think that are the problem. And that's the only reason why I say this. And it really is because I'm pleading with him, because I want to get the best version of the Raptors. And I feel like what Dennis said is kind of like illustrating kind of what the problem is, that some people aren't fully behind other people on the team. And if it's an ego thing, if it's an individual thing, if it's a I don't like you thing, people just need to get over it and just be on the same team and play together as a team, at least in between the lines of the court. That's all I care about. They don't have to like each other outside of the world, in the outside world, but they better for damn sure like each other on the court and be like best friends the way they play on the court. That's what I care about right there. Fiercely saying, good morning, fam, and happy New Year's. Wishing you peace, love, prosperity, and mostly health, as health is wealth. Cheers to 365 days of great and insightful exchanges and discussions. I love that. In fact, you know what? We're going to give Fiercely the first dunk of 2024 for such a great wish, and I'm with it. And since it's alphabetized, I can do this real easy. So there you go. The dunk sheet has been cleared. We're starting over. There's brand new dunks. I'm sorry, Jillian, your 16 dunks are gone. You're going to have to earn new ones for the new year. And Fiercey's got the first one for the year for such a great wish for this new year. Firebolt's here. Good morning and happy New Year, Lex and Raptor Freaks. Happy New Year to you, Firebolt. And I know that today is going to be a fun day. We're going to get to see RJ Barrett in a Raptors jersey for the first time today. And I'm excited about it. I really, really hope to see that. Jillian saying Mr. Temple wants to continue looking like a PA rep. Well, the man is taking the LSAT. He is on his way to being a lawyer. He is the vice president of the Players Association for the NBA. He is a big time kind of executive in the NBA. He's important, and he dresses the way he wants. He dresses to impress because of the job that he wants. And well, this man's going to be some sort of NBA something afterwards, maybe a player's advocate working in the players union still in some sort of form. I don't know. I don't get mad at the professionalism of Garrett Temple. and the things he's doing as a teammate on the Raptors this year. It's a really, really good thing. Fiercely saying, thank you for your words of wisdom, Trevor J. Good morning, Dana, Jillian, and Firebolt. Lex, I like the Yeti. New look, same as the new look. Raptors tonight. Let's go. I don't know. I mean, we're going to have changes on this channel this year for sure. I'm going to move at some point this year, and the backdrop behind me is going to completely change. So these walls that we've seen for the past few years on this show are not going to be involved in the show anymore, which is sad in some ways. You know, that picture right there is a picture of downtown Toronto, and in the corner you can see the Scotiabank Arena when it was the Postal Building, because this picture is from the 70s, but you can see Scotiabank in it, and you can also see City Hall and University Avenue where the parade went down. It's a beautiful picture of downtown, and that's why I always show this on game day, because that's our arena's in that picture, y'all. And that's why when it's home, I'm wearing the Toronto hat, and there is a picture of Toronto right there. And usually the sun, the beam from the window is coming through on the window. It's shining on the Scotiabank Arena in the corner. So that light on the corner of that picture is usually shining on there. And I always like to think the sun is shining on us and our arena. That's what I want to think. Mischief is here. Let's see what the base man's saying this morning in 2024. New York, you guys got my top 3 lockdown defender in the league. He'll play at least 43 games a year for you. New York, you want to unlock Malachi gameplay for him for 30 minutes for 10 nights, 10 games straight. Makes us proud, New York. Some reason I feel like he's being sarcastic on some of this. You know, listen, I think it's true. Top 3 lockdown defender and OG Anunoby. That's absolutely true. Absolutely true. He is one of the best defenders in the league for sure. He's a precision, laser-focused three-point shooter also. He can really hit some threes if he's dialed in. I want to see how this thing goes for OG. In some ways, I worry about him for his personality in this whole change of things. You know, in the Raptors, he was very much coddled and very treated very well. You know, our team really looked out for him in all kinds of ways. And it may be a little bit more of a harsh world in New York City. I want the best things for OG, but I'm going to worry about him a little bit, whether it's with the press, whether it's dealing with the new teammates and things. I don't know. I just hope people respect him and treat him with love. That's all I'm asking. All right. Just respect him and treat him with love. As far as Malachi, I love that advice, Mischief, because I think it's pretty funny. Yeah. Play Malachi him 30 minutes for 10 games straight. I'm all about that. Try that, Thibodeau. Try playing Flynn a lot. I'd love to see what happens. Randolph Phillips is saying, Happy New Year's, beloved Raptor Freaks family. We made it into 2024. What a blessing. Health, happiness, and prosperity. That's right. This is in some ways, we went from the Michael year to the Kobe year. That's what some people are saying, 23 to 24. Now we're in the Kobe year. That's right. You can look at it that way. I don't mind. Monique is saying, here we go. We got the Superfan. First comment of the new year from Superfan Mo. She is saying, hang on, is that Superfan? Yeah, there she is. Happy New Year's. Good morning, Raptor Freak family, and happy game day. New beginnings. Beyond excited about tonight. Let's go Raptors. Let's go IQ and RJ. Yeah, I'm excited about this. I followed RJ Barrett and Emmanuel Quickly on Instagram yesterday, just so I can get on top of what's going on in their lives and give you the Instagram stories. In fact, let's do that real quick, just for fun. Let's look at the new Instagram stories from yesterday. Haven't done it in a bit. First, we got Thad Young, and he's got his wife Shakina on blast. It's got the 2022, and then he's showing the next year with 2023. Yeah, just good stuff going all the time with the Young family. Always happy to see the happy, fun memories of the last year from Thaddeus and his family. Yuta Watanabe wishing a happy new year in Japanese to everybody on his, and he's holding the Japanese flag. What a great year for Yuta. It was really successful with a FIBA hosting for Japan and him being the ambassador, and Japan actually not doing too bad in some ways. They did okay. Now, this is really interesting, guys. Mr. New York City has posted in his Instagram stories 10 hours ago last night that 2024, I'm going to start vlogging and recording my life. Prepare for the unexpected. So Marquise is going to be giving us that open gym view into his life, and maybe he'll have a channel and he'll be doing more content, showing us behind the scenes stuff, what's going on with him. Now, there's Quickly's Instagram. I'm seeing it right now. I see 4 Quickly red number 5 Raptors jerseys. I see his backpack. I see a hotel bedroom. I see a note that says, IQ, welcome to the next chapter, Toronto. And I see a nice hat. I see a hoodie. I see a bag, a box of Craig's cookies and a coffee crisp chocolate bar. So Emmanuel, you getting a Canadian coffee crisp to start off right off here in Canada and Toronto. Slim Duck has got kind of a back past the year kind of photo montage of different things that happened to him during the past year with different pictures. And he's also got a class called Mind Your Business 101. But yeah, that's fun. Dennis Schroeder celebrating the birthday of LeBron James, one of his best friends in the league. Honestly, guys, Dennis is really close to LeBron, and they're celebrating his 39th birthday yesterday. So happy birthday to LeBron from Dennis Schroeder. Yeah, that's very interesting. I wish this guy thought that was cool and would like talk to Dennis more and say, "Hey, how can I be more like LeBron? I can tell you. Let me help you." That kind of stuff. That would be good. And he's also putting on blast his 28 Black drink. So yeah, for New Year's, get 28 Black, endorsed by Dennis Schroeder. All right, I think that's pretty much it. The Instagram story is short and sweet. Pretty much a lot of people are on radio silence in Raptors Nation right now. Not posting a whole lot. A lot of it's because we're losing. Yeah. All right. Let's see what's going on. Else, Mischief has got the starting five, and it looks like we still don't have. There's Quickly. Wait, somebody did put them in. Who did that? Did Tom come in and be a little gremlin and do that after all? Because I see RJ and Emmanuel in the quotes now. Tom Duke, if you're doing this, I thank you. Wherever you are, Tom, whatever happened, the fact that RJ and Emmanuel are in the emotes is like the emote fairy came and did it. I did not see this happening. It's amazing. Look at Mischief's quote. He's got RJ in there because I know we had RJ from the summer, but Tom must have made Emmanuel Quickly also, and he came in and did it. Thank you, Tom Duke. I know you haven't been here lately, but thank you. I will say that. I know he did it because nobody else can do it other than him. It's either me or him that did it. Jillian saying, yes, Fiercey, Trevor J, always with the strong personality. Yeah, Trevor's a good leader in the Raptor Freak family for guidance and words of wisdom. And so are a lot of other people like Monique and Randolph Phillips, all kinds of Cowboy, David Saborin, good leaders in different ways. Jillian saying, wow, Lex is in a good mood. Good. Yeah, I don't have any reason to not be in a bad mood or anything. I know we're losing, but I can't control that. Once again, this is good learning lessons for different people as far as like you can't control everything in your life. And you got to learn what you can, you can't. I can't control whether the Raptors going to win or not. They need to control that themselves. And I can only hope and pray that they will win. But otherwise, I mean, what's the point of me suffering just because they're suffering too? No, I ain't doing that. And I don't want them to suffer. I really don't. I want them to win more. Randolph saying we replaced OG with IQ and RJ. I love it. There you go. Randolph Phillips giving a 2 thumbs up on the trade that happened this weekend. IQ and RJ coming in town yesterday. Let's hear what they have to say this afternoon. Nameless is giving me another Italian lesson. This is the perfect way to start off at 2024. Buon anno a tutti. Happy New Year's, everybody. Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Nameless, for the Italian lesson. I knew that tutti is like everyone at this point because I always say it. Everyone. Tutti, tutti. Tutti was on Facts of Life, played by Kim Fields. Yeah, right? Wasn't her name Kim Fields? Yeah. Let's see. Fiercely saying, traveling 1 week to Colombia tomorrow. May miss a few streams, fam, but sending you and the team positive vibes. There you go, Fiercely. We'll travel safe and be careful. And I hope you really enjoy your trip. That sounds like a fantastic time. I know maybe the weather's better down there. We got a white New Year's Eve last night. Lots of snow in Toronto last night, and it stayed on the ground. So it's white outside. So, yeah, we're getting that, it wasn't a white Christmas, but it was a white New Year's Eve. That's for sure. Let's see. Kareem's here. Good to see Kareem Thomas. Just landed 2 hours ago. I'm fucking wired. Happy New Year's, y'all. Nice mic, Lex. Gonna get you a Raptor Freak decal, maybe. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what to do. I'm holding it right now. It's kind of interesting. I don't have a platform that's tall enough. It's like down here. If I do, you can't see it. So I gotta hold it for right now. We're gonna figure this out. It's a work in progress. But if it sounds good, that's all that I care about. I just wanted it to sound good. But Kareem, I'm glad you're back from Denver and that you're back in the 416 and safely. I know it's always fun to land back into Toronto. I know if you're at night, you get to see all the lights in the tower. And maybe if you just landed 2 hours ago, man, that's early flight. Yeah, you must be wired. Maybe an afternoon nap is in the books for today. I see it. Kevin's here. Good to see Kevin Thompson. Great Raptor Freak. Emmanuel used to play with Maxey in college. They play a bit similar with the floaters. 3-point shooting. This is a good player to build with. Yeah, I'm excited about this. So they did actually play together. So they really aren't just like alike each other. They are actually really know each other and played together. It makes sense. It makes sense. I'm excited. I think Emmanuel's interested in this. Obviously the chances for him to become a starting point guard in this league are higher with us without Brunson in the way over in New York. So we'll have to see how this develops with Emmanuel quickly. I think the writing is on the wall. I think both these New York guys coming in are going to be new starters for us. And in some ways, that's going to be great because Gary and Dennis will really bolster our bench right now. I think that starting Emmanuel quickly is smart. And even starting him today, I would start him right away and get it going right away. Don't mess around, Darko. Let's dive into the deep end of the pool with RJ and Emmanuel and start them tonight. Put both of them in the starting lineup with Scotty, Pascal, and Jakob. I'm all about that. Yeah. Let's see. Nameless saying, this is the game we turn around our entire season, baby. Yeah, that's what we need to do. We've played, 32 games now? We're 12-20. That means there's 50 games left in this season. And if we're going to get to 42 wins, we have to win 30 of those 50 games. So can we go 30-20 for the rest of the season, Raptors? I put that challenge to you on this New Year's Day. Can you go 30-20 for the rest of the 50 games left in this season? You can do that. We will have met the goal that I wanted, 42 wins. One better than last year. I just want to win, have a winning record. Y'all have to get above 500 and win one more game than 500, and I'll be happy by the end of the year. We'll see, though, if the direction is, well, we don't want to do that, Lex, because we're trying to get our pick back from San Antonio. And maybe we want to hang around and be one of the bottom 6 teams in the league for that reason right there. I don't know. I'm not saying we're going to tank on purpose, but if we're not going very well and we're not getting somewhere with this new look, well, it may be good to just kind of coast through the season and keep our first round pick this year. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. In some ways, they're going to be adjusting and figuring out what they want to do as we get the results of what's happening. So let's see. Jillian saying, yeah, Nameless, the Italiano lesson. I love it. I love it, Tutti. I love it, Tutti. Yes. Fiercely saying at Nameless, we missed the Italian lesson. Glad you're back. And yes, to turning things around, our season starts tonight. That's right. New season, new Canadian. That's right. Infamous is saying, salute Raptors family. Happy New Year's. The mic sounds great. The front office is genius doing some research. The real steal of the trade is quickly, not RJ. Wow, what a player. Yeah, a lot of Raptors fans been watching Emmanuel Quickly highlights all weekend, and they are just, wow, awesome. In some ways, this is a guard we've never had, like this kind of guard in a while. I know people kept saying that it's like, we haven't had a real point guard in a while. Well, in some ways, we've never really had a guard exactly like Emmanuel Quickly, and I'm excited to see how it fits and how it goes. In some ways, I'm very, very excited about the dog factor coming with him. I'm excited about the clutch factor coming with him and RJ. RJ hit big shots for Team Canada and when it really mattered at FIBA World Cup. And I know that he's done big things for the Knicks also to try and help them win games. So in some ways, we don't need people that are going to shy away from trying to help us win and when we need to get big baskets. And if these two guys are going to step up and do that, then maybe it rubs off on some of the guys that are already here and they get more about it too. In some ways, there are things, once again, I'll say this to every young player, you can learn something from every single person that's on the team around you, that you need to treat every single person on the team the same respect. And nobody's like lesser or below. They're all in the NBA. They're good basketball players. They just get different numbers of minutes. And every single player on this team, I don't care who it is, Grady Dick can teach every single player on this team something, some sort of thing. It's just like in life. Every single person out there in this city, in Toronto, can teach you something they know that you don't know. And it may be really dumb and superfluous. It may be just ordinary and normal. It could be fantastic and life-changing also. So that's what I would say. That's the wise person that goes through life, understanding that every single person you come across has something to offer you. Now, some of them have negative lessons. Some of them aren't worth much of your time, but that's the lesson right there that is to offer you. And some of them do have some amazing things and insight that can really change your life, is what I'm going to say right there. Yeah. Let's see. Dana's saying good morning to Fiercey. And Kareem Thomas is saying, I'm happy we traded within our conference. IQ and Barrett have some familiarity with all the guards already. This is a good point. Kareem Thomas bringing up. This is a very good point. We're within the division, not even just the conference. Emmanuel Quickly and RJ Barrett, New York Knicks, now Toronto Raptors, played a lot of the teams around our league. It's going to be interesting to see. Like, I'm glad we're on the home right now, and we're immediately going on the road. So in some ways, this road trip will be instant bonding for RJ and Emmanuel with the team, because you go on a long Western Conference road trip. Well, you can get to know each other going on this trip. So I'm kind of glad we're going on this road trip immediately after this game. A lot of really crazy Western Conference games coming up. And in some ways, the Raptors have played the Western Conference better than the Eastern Conference this year. So hopefully we'll get a bunch of wins on this road trip. Some of these Western Conference teams are not built the same way as the Eastern Conference teams, and maybe we will be able to capitalize on that. That's what I'm hoping. Yeah. Let's see. Nameless is saying, I think you may need an adjustable mic stand next. I don't know. Boom mic. Hey, everybody. It's Adrian Cronhauer. Good morning, Vietnam. I don't know. We're going to figure this out, but this is the first time with it. I'll just hold it like this. I'll hold it up above me. I don't know. I'll do different stuff with it. We'll try and figure out where the sound sounds the best. I don't know. We're going to figure it out. Let's see. Did anybody notice RJ can't go right? This is interesting. RJ is a southpaw. RJ is a left-handed player, and in some ways, that's fun. That's really good. I mean, Thad Young's a left-handed player too. I don't know. In some ways, that's the scouting report on RJ. It's something we probably used against him ourselves in the years ahead of this. I don't know. We'll figure this out. I'm sure Coach Darko, in some ways, this is the thing. Darko is an offensive coach, obviously. He's not a defensive coach. I can tell. In some ways, we're going to get the defense right at some point. But his emphasis is on offense. Well, he just got two very good offensive players to come in and work with now. So in some ways, that's what I'm interested to see, is what Coach Darko, with his offensive scheming, his 0.5, his share the ball, lots of passing, how are RJ and Emmanuel going to fit in with that, and how will they thrive in that kind of system? I just like that we have more firepower offensively, that these guys are more capable and more steady to make sure they make shots in some ways than the guys we just sent to New York. So I feel like our offense has got more capable and more firepower now, and that should help us keeping up with scoring with people. Hopefully there won't be any more Matt Devlin saying the Raptors have not scored since the 7-minute mark of the second quarter. No, I don't want to hear that crap no more, Matt Devlin, because hopefully Quickly is quickly making them, or RJ is doing something big. Is what I want to know. Yeah. Name is saying, free up both hands for your antics. You want my antics? Well, maybe the mic is the prop today. Hey, everybody. Woo. Hey, hot balls of fire. I don't know. I'm an improviser, so I'll improvise with whatever I got. I don't know. I should just keep it steady. Let's see. Stargate saying, good morning, Raptor Freak family. Good morning to Stargate, a great Raptor Freak in the enemy lines of his well, I shouldn't say that. He just works for a dubious employer. Let's see. Happy New Year to all. Positive vibes and energy for everybody in 2024. As for our beloved Raptors, this season starts tonight. I have a good feeling for the rest of the season. Yeah, I do too. I mean, there's a really bright opportunity to turn the calendar over and start afresh. Let's forget the debacle of Saturday. Let's just remember the trade, and let's see how it goes going forward. We wish OG well. We love you, OG. You always be one of the quirkiest, best, awesome Raptors. We beloved Raptors of all time. And Precious, I love you, man. Some people don't in our fan nation, but I do. I always thought that you were a man full of promise, and you have big things on the horizon for you too. And Malachi, yeah, that's what I got there, right there. Let's see. Eric Flynn saying thank you to New York for freeing his son. It's crazy. Listen, if this is weird, if Malachi does something crazy under Tom Thibodeau, I'm gonna be mad. First of all, I'm gonna be mad. If he becomes something all of a sudden in New York, I'm gonna be like, what the hell, Malachi? What the hell? This is what I'm gonna be. I fully expect him to be exactly what he's been in Toronto. But if there's some sort of weird turn on thing with him where all of a sudden he becomes what Messiah had hoped he would become all of a sudden now, I'm gonna be wondering something about that. I really am. I don't think it will happen though. How much do you guys think Malachi Flynn's going to turn it around all of a sudden magically right now? I don't think he is. Like from my watching basketball and thinking about things, like, well, where's the logic and why would he all of a sudden do that? The system, the coach, why? What? Because he plays in the States now? I don't know. I really am wondering how Malachi is going to do with New York. I don't think he's going to do well. I think he's going to do what he's already been doing. Infamous is saying that Quickly is Maxi with better defense. Well, that sounds fantastic. I mean, seriously, Maxi is an all-star this year. Maxi scoring like 40 points a game sometimes. And that sounds great. I love that description. Patchouli G's here. I wonder if Patchouli G's already back prepping in the prep kitchen. Hope not this early in the new year. It's 2024. Hopefully you got the day off. Patchouli G, always good to see you. Our good Raptor Freak friend. Didn't Dennis fight with his coach? Did he not fight with Maxi Kleber and bullied him enough that Kleber had to quit the German team? I'm just saying he may not be the vet to lead this team. These are good points. And, listen, I'm just trying to suss this out as far as why is there a disconnect between winning and communication on our team? What's the problem with why our team defense isn't together? There's all kinds of different issues like this. Now, this is the thing with Dennis from this summer, because I covered this pretty extensively when it was happening. Dennis really cares about winning. This is the thing. This is the separation. This is the same as Fred. And this is why I'm on their sides, because they are more like Michael Jordan. In some ways, it's psychopathic. In some ways, yes, it is not humanistic. In some ways, it's not coddling. In some ways, it's not like, oh, you poor big baby. No, there's none of that. Maxi Kleber was not showing up for Germany correctly as far as he was being hedging whether he was going to come and show up for them or not. And Dennis did not like that. In some ways, Dennis liked having the cohort of the German team to be very solid for the 10 years in development coming up to their appearance. And God forbid, he was right. The more solid that they had their guys together, the more likely they won the gold medal. And Maxi was being flaky, and he wasn't taking the commitment seriously, and Dennis called him out for it. He said, if you're going to come play for us, come play for us. Don't be half-assed. We are kind of putting us in a weird position where we don't know if we're going to add you or not. And then he said, you know what? If you're just going to be like this, I don't want you to play at all. I have no problem with what Dennis did. In some ways, Maxi has apologized since to Dennis and the German team for failing them. So it's not Dennis that was wrong there. Dennis was being a good leader, and he was saying, look, get your ass in gear. Don't half-ass us. If you're going to show up and play for Germany or you're not. And he got mad at him because he was being flaky. That's the whole thing. Now, the thing with the coach in the middle of the game was this is what happened. And we went over this too. Tice and Dennis, who are very good friends, we know this. They're like brothers, were arguing and yelling at each other. And it was because of game stuff. And it was very much not a personal thing. They were arguing about who was supposed to cover who and doing this or that. And Dennis got really mad and they yelled at each other. And Coach Bear was like, guys, don't fight. And he got in the middle of it. And what he did was, and he's a bigger man than Dennis, is he put his hands on Dennis and kind of held him like a child. And Dennis did not like that. They was like, don't ever touch me like that again. And that was that whole situation right there. There was no problem between Tice and Dennis for real. It was just they were so engaged in the game and competitive and fiery that they were going at it. Looked like they were fighting. And Coach was like trying to break it up. And he thought that there was a real problem, but there really wasn't. And then when he touched Dennis, Dennis disagreed with how he handled him, like physically. And that's why he got mad at him. So I don't know if that illustrates it a little bit more. Now, I'm going to be on the tough love side. I'm like Wayne Strainer. We're like, this is basketball. This is professional. You're getting paid money. And we're not here to coddle babies. And if anybody on the team is needing coddling, well, we'll do it to an extent. But if you're getting in the way of us winning because of your need to be coddled, then I'm not about that. So I don't know. I'm going to get behind the guys who are competitive, the guys who care about winning, the guys who are saying stuff about this is why we're not winning and we need to do this better, because they're trying to come up with solutions and answers. And, we want to get better. That's the whole point of this. Well, there's Fred saying things like, well, guys need to treat things more seriously in certain ways last year, or it's Dennis doing the same thing this year. I see them as the same person, and I agree with both of them. So if there's anybody who's not getting with the program from that side of things, well, they need to. They just really need to. And that's I mean, I don't know if that makes sense. Now you're saying he may not be the vet to lead, and a lot of people, I guess, they read what he said and they took it as a diss to Scotty, and they hate Dennis now for this. They're calling him out, saying he called him out publicly. But a lot of old heads, people that care about the team, are like, thank you, Dennis, for being honest about what is happening. And it's not about like embarrassing anybody or putting anybody on blast. It's about a cry out from being on the team. He sees the potential of the team. He wants the team to be better. And he's just saying, these are the issues with the team. The media is asking me what's wrong with the team. Well, I'm telling you, the issue is that we don't know how to win, and we're not acting like we know how to win. We're not carrying ourselves with the way that we need to be able to win. We're not together in the way that we need to be to win. And I want to get there, but it's not happening. And that's all it is to me. That's the way I look at it. Some people get mad, oh, this or this, but these are people being overprotective of Scott. These are people that are like not wanting to see the possible truth of this. I mean, listen, Scotty's not just an absolute perfect person, y'all. I'm going to tell you that right now. And I've been critical of him at times, but that's because for him to be better, he needs to be criticized. That's just the way it is. If you have an easy, oh, you're just so good. You're just so good. You're perfect. You're just awesome. You're just great. That doesn't help him. You got to tell him where his weakness is and tell him how to work on it and fix it. Now, maybe I'm not qualified to tell him that, but I'm trying to figure out what's wrong with my team right now. And that's the whole reason why I said what I said yesterday. And the whole reason why I'm saying what I'm saying today. Fiercely saying, I stumbled upon the Pascal interview on YouTube, which for some reason Raptors official page did not post. A New York fan said he respected our media as we asked tough questions, and New York media is soft. Laugh out loud. That's kind of funny. It's the perception of us is the wrong other way. That's pretty funny. I personally found those questions interesting, but Pascal is good at answering now. Yeah, I don't think anything that Dennis or Pascal said was wrong. They're just saying, they're talking about the same thing. They're just talking about it in different ways. You know, Siakam wants the same things that Dennis wants. That's why I don't think there's the issues are there. I really don't. I think Siakam's been through wars. He's had a lot of playoff experience. He's won a championship. And he has good veteran head on his shoulders. I don't think Siakam is the issue here. I really do. Like, it's really, you got to figure out who's shown up and when and where and what and when the problem started to start. You know, the problem started before Dennis. The Dennis is not the problem, y'all. That's what I'm saying. The problems were here last year, and Dennis wasn't here last year. So why do you think that Dennis is the problem, y'all? Think about it logically. Seriously, you got to think about it logically. Let's see. Trevor J saying he better do good in New York because boy, oh boy, those New York fans will flip on him so fast. Talking about Malachi. Yeah. He better do better in New York. He can't do what he did here. He's going to get eaten alive. Yeah, he will. Name is saying LeBron's vanity will keep them in the league just one more year. You know, I don't know what LeBron's going to be in the league. Like, he could play till he's 50. Honestly, the man's an amazing physical specimen. In some ways, I don't wish that. But in some ways, it's good for the game in some ways because people love him so much. I don't know. You can't be an owner and play at the same time, LeBron. So you got to figure out your schedule. You're waiting for LeBron to come in, play with him a little bit, and then retire. I don't know how you're going to do it. But one way or another, you know, this man looks like he can play forever. It's crazy. Name is saying they're going to have to roll him out on the court in a wheelchair soon. 39. It's crazy. He's going to be 40 soon. The guys have played well into their 40s before. Kevin Willis, Robert Parrish, Caldwell Jones. Kareem was 40 his last year in the NBA, I believe. Yeah. Let's see. Fiercely saying, thank you for the new emotes, Tom Duke. Yeah, wherever Tom Duke is, the emote fairy, he came in and he switched them for us. There's Quickly and RJ. Thank you so much, Tom. I appreciate you for it. I know you're not in the chat regularly, but thank you for just coming in and making that switch for us. I really do appreciate that. Jillian saying, so sunny in Ottawa. Sunny today. Wow, you guys got sun. We got the bleakest, whitest snow on the roofs and on the ground right now. It's very, very not sunny here. You guys got all the sunshine in the capital there. Stargate saying, apparently Anthony Davis and Dennis have had issues when Dennis was in L.A., most noticeably the spat on the bench against Memphis. This is a good point. All right, I want to look at this. Well, let's think about Anthony Davis real quick. You know, some ways you could question his, like, trying and stuff like that. If he had an issue with Anthony Davis, well, maybe it's because he wasn't trying hard enough. And Dennis was trying to tell him to, like, step it up. I don't know. I'd have to see the particular incident and what it looked like and how it went down. But knowing Anthony Davis getting hurt all the time and maybe being questionable about his heart and him trying hard, I'm still going to side with Dennis on that one. Mo's saying, give IQ a YouTube channel a follow if you want. That's right. Okay. This is a good heads up from superfan Monique Lawrence that Emmanuel Quickly has a YouTube channel, guys. Now, I don't know how often he posts. and he may not have posted anything recently, but definitely give him a follow. Name was saying this is a great move. We got rid of Deadwood and Flynn and Achua, limited contributions to winning, and now we can reallocate that time on the floor to much better players. I agree with this. And in some ways, Nameless, our trade was addition and then addition by subtraction. We definitely are adding Emmanuel Quickly, which is a great new type of player to have on our team. I know New York didn't necessarily, they would have loved to keep him, but in some ways it wasn't going to fit with Brunson and everything that's going on there. Now, RJ, another addition, and I really feel like he's going to be a great addition. But then, Precious and Malachi, people are saying that's an addition by subtraction because, in some ways, the ineptitude shown by them off the bench this year is gone. And the time that was filled by them, we needed them to fill because we had nobody else to play off the bench, will now be filled by better players. And I'm all about that. I think this is so true, Nameless. This is so on point. Jillian saying, yes, Infamous. We have all been extra excited in reference to Quickly. Yeah, I'm excited about RJ, probably more than Quickly in some ways. And it really is because of Canada stuff. It's Canada stuff. I want to see what it's like to have him in the jersey. I want to see how happy he is. I want to see because I haven't really heard a whole lot from him. He said he interacted with Ben Stiller yesterday after Ben was like saying, I love you, RJ. I'll be RJ Nation forever. What you did for the Knicks. I love you. Ben Stiller is a huge RJ Barrett fan. It's crazy. And RJ said, I got you, legend, forever. Don't worry. It is what it is. Now, let's see. Nameless saying the impact of the new acquisitions will be exponential, not just double, unmeasurable. I could see this. If Emmanuel Quickly is ready to make a leap like Maxey has this year in any kind of way, I'm all about it. If RJ Barrett is going to continue to be a student of the game and work on honing his game to get better and better and better over the years, I'm all about it. If RJ's ready to carry the mantle as Captain Canada and be on Canada's NBA team and really take that seriously, like a hometown kid would, as somebody who's saying, look, I'm playing for my country. I'm playing for my city that I grew up in now. I want to see if there's this little bit of different fire in Mr. Barrett playing for those reasons and not just because I get paid by James Dolan and I'm in New York City. That's what I'm wondering about. Is there going to be a different fire to him? There was a certain fire to him around Team Canada that was very interesting this summer. So maybe there'll be a little bit of different fire with him. Jillian saying at Nameless, Achua is still growing, but still a bit inconsistent. Loved his round the way shot. No one else did this. I'm going to miss Precious. And I'm telling you, he's going to be good. He's going to get even better in the next year or so. I really do feel like that. And we'll see how it goes. Fiercely saying, feeling Dennis may have been promised to start, or at least he expected it. As he mentioned in his introductory interview, as an ultimate pro, he will check his ego at the door if Quickly starts. Yeah, I'm not worried about Dennis with that. This is not an issue. He's gracefully gone to the bench already, and I don't expect him to start now. He's already coming off the bench right now. It's not like he's getting taken out of the starting lineup now. It's happened. It happened last week. And Quickly is after this. So in some ways, it's Trent who's going to be having to be ready to go back to the bench again, is basically what's happening here. Dennis is not hung up on these things. Neither is Gary. This is the thing. Once again, the fans are more hung up on starters than the actual players. Gary Trent Jr., Dennis Schroeder have been bouncing back and forth between starters and bench their whole entire careers, and neither one of them are fazed by this at this point. And they are speaking what they mean. They say it. They're pros. They don't care if they start or come off the bench. They're going to play their asses off and play really well. Dennis got 30 points in the last game. He came off the bench. Oh, no, wait. He did start in the last game. My bad. He did start in the last game because we didn't have OG. That's right. Okay, but still, what I'm saying here is these guys are pros and they will do whatever role the coach asks them. And that's what I'm asking for all these guys to do. Just do that kind of stuff. Kevin saying OG would have been perfect right now instead of Pascal with all the added offense. Yeah, I don't know about that. In some ways, I mean, I get it. Some people wanted Siakam to go instead of OG, but I don't know. I don't know. In some ways, New York, once again, Kevin, this has come to light. OG's agency that he switched to last year is CAA, and it's owned by the son of Leon Rose, the GM of the Knicks. So the writing has been on the wall this whole year, honestly, that OG was going to go to the Knicks no matter what. And we couldn't probably do anything about this. In fact, I'm glad Bobby and Masai traded him on Saturday because he was going to walk and sign straight up with New York this summer coming up. It's just the damn truth. It wasn't we were going to be able to re-sign him as a free agent this offseason coming up. It's all been set up. He made his choice to go to New York when he signed with his new agency, CAA, last year. So in some ways, it's cahoots, it's gross, it's disgusting, but that's how it worked. And Dolan, in some ways, I'm glad that he made the deal with us now, and we got Quickly and Barrett for it instead of it coming around to offseason and something like Fred happened, where he's just going to go to New York anyway because it's been prearranged with the agency that he's with. That it represents pretty much a bunch of the Knicks, like all those Villanova guys, and even the coach, Thibodeau. They're all under the same agency that OG's under. So this was all organized, and it was going to happen regardless. OG was going to be a Knick no matter what. Let's just put it that way. Nameless is saying, that's a great point, Kareem. It really is. Which one? About what did Kareem say? About the time and it's a while ago, I think. Jillian's saying, Kevin, OG was inconsistent, then really checked out due to his in New York intentions. Yeah. In some ways, I don't want him to go do an interview saying, I stopped playing for the Raptors 2 months ago. Don't do a Vince Carter, OG. Just let it be. You played your best while you were still here, and we believe that. And you go ahead and you go to New York on good faith. Don't be cocky and say, I didn't play good for them on purpose. That's what Vince made the mistake. That's where he made the mistake. I would not hate Vince Carter as much as I do today if he had just left and didn't even admit that he dogged it on purpose, because that's what I really hate Vince about, that he had the audacity to tell the press after he didn't try for the last year or two of being a Raptor, and then all of a sudden he changed how much he tried on the Nets. And that's the whole reason why I hate Vince. That is right there, because he actually had the gall to tell the press and say that he disrespected Toronto so much that he didn't care about playing for them. That's what it was right there. Right there. Stargate saying, if they can win 7 of the next 12 games coming up, I'll be happy. I'd be very happy about that. Yeah, let's win a bunch more than we're losing now that the New York guys are coming in. Let's do that. Yes, Stargate, Jillian said. Yes. Wayne's saying OG orchestrated his move. His agent is the son of the Knicks GM, and that was his objective in moving from Clutch. Masai made sure our needs were met. OG wanted more and didn't have gumption to go get it. There you go. Wayne just spelled it out right there. It's a lot of what I just said just now, but it's true. He was set up to go there already. They wanted him that bad that Leon Rhodes' son went and seeked him out and say, hey, come to my agency and I'll make you a Knick. And OG was like, huh? And he did it. He did it. He left the Octagon to go to Clutch. He left Clutch to go to CAA. Summer Lowe is here. Good to see Raptor Freak Summer Lowe. Raptor Freak, who's been around the last couple of years, drops in every once in a while and says hi. I wonder how the Knicks fans will feel when they watch Precious pull off some low IQ situations. Well, I think they're going to be a lot like us. They're going to be wowed and amazed by some of the physical attributes that he does, like maybe some of the drives and crazy dunks. Maybe some of the threes that he makes, they'll be like, wow. And they may see him do a really crazy lay-in or make some crazy shot. They'll love that. But then they'll also see the other side of the coin that Summer Lowe's talking about. Maybe the dribbling off the foot, maybe the ill-advised three that really isn't the right shot at that time. Yeah, there's going to be times where they're going to get frustrated with him too. But I think there's going to be a lot of stuff where they're going to be like, wow, this guy's raw talent. And he could be something someday for sure. Name is the same. Barnes and Quickly are going to kill people, man, for the next 10 years. I hope this is true. I really hope this is true. We got to think about what is this law firm in Toronto now? Is Barnes, Barrett, Siakam, and Quickly? Something like that. I don't know. How do you name it? I love the clip that came out yesterday for New Year's about Happy New Year's from Pascal and Jakob. That was so cool. It's from like 7 years ago or something when they're very young. And they're like young and they're saying, Happy New Year's, everybody. I love that Jakob reposted it and put it out. And Isaac Campbell posted it in our Raptor Freak Facebook chat. And it was just so cool to see the fresh-faced Siakam and Pirtle when they were young saying Happy New Year's, and such a different time. In some ways, I worry about their relationship. Their friendship is different. They're much more grown up. They're not as young and foolish and silly. And now they're more mature and reserved. And I hope that they still have a very rich friendship. and that they are very close friends still on the down low. I mean, I see it on the court. They are very much looking out for each other, and they have each other's backs. In some ways, part of the reason why Siakam has done better in the lane is because he knows his big friend Jakob is lurking around to give him a physical backup. And that's what I want. I love seeing, like, if Siakam goes down, Jakob's over there to pick him up, and vice versa. That's the stuff that matters. I'm telling you right now. That's the stuff that matters. G saying Happy New Year. Pascal helps them with his post-up game, so his kickouts can actually result in shots made. Yeah. Yeah. I think Siakam's just such a very valuable player. And once again, I will say this. He is the last remaining main player on our championship team that's still on our team. And that should be valued and treasured by Raptors fans a lot more than they do already. And in some ways, this is stupid, y'all. Do you not understand the prestige that is just in the body of Pascal being in a Raptors jersey? And that we need to stop ignoring it just because the NBA media ignores it, just because other teams ignore it. All of a sudden, OG's a New York Knick, and he's all defensive OG. Well, if Pascal goes to another team, just like Fred, he's an NBA champion all of a sudden. And that's the thing. He's an NBA champion right now, and he's still in our jersey. So we should covet that and protect that and wish for Siakam to still be a Raptor for long term, because it may still happen, y'all. That's the thing. Some people will be so upset that Siakam's still here, and they may be the right people that are upset. I don't want him to go necessarily. I think it's a bad move. Seriously. Fun guy saying Malachi won't even get minutes there. They have like 4 guards before him, even after dealing RJ and quickly. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll see how Thibodeau puts him in and see what happens. We'll see how quick he gets the hook. I don't know. We'll see. Eric Flynn thinks he's got a new lease on life. We'll have to see if that's true. Isaac saying, if Flynn's sanity comes to New York after this trade, then I will eat pasta for the rest of the year. And then that's who is that? Is that Masai? All right, Isaac, you're getting the second dunk of the year because that's pretty funny. That's a Bargnani reference, isn't it? Isaac's there. Boom. The spreadsheet's so easy to find the dunks. Awesome. Infamous is saying Dennis is a straight shooter. That doesn't mix words, which I respect. Unfortunately, that type of personality can rub people the wrong way. Exactly. See, in some ways, I'm a bird of a feather with Dennis. I'm not afraid to speak, even if the repercussions can be bad. In some ways, I just want to be honest and be a truthful voice. And in some ways, Dennis is trying to be the same thing. And in some ways, we can shoot the messenger. But in some ways, it's not him that's the issue. He's just crying out because he wants us to get better. Does anybody want to waste their time playing for a bad team? No, especially when they see the potential of the team with the talent. It should be way better. And we can all agree that's true. That the Raptors should have a better record right now than they do. And we know that they've been losing games that just they shouldn't have been losing. And that's part of the problem. And Dennis is going about trying to figure out a way to kick these guys in the butt and get them going better. Maybe talking to their face behind the locker room ain't working. Well, he says something in the press. And I don't think what he said was that egregious or bad. In some ways, he didn't really call anybody out or throw anybody on the bus. But you can connect the dots and understand who he's talking about if you really think about it. So I think I totally respect it too. Infamous. And I appreciate Dennis. I know a lot of people in Raptors Nation do not appreciate Dennis right now, but I am one of the ones that do. I do. Jillian's saying, Lex, we want our former players to do well. Yuta started for the Celtics. Or you mean Delano. Svi also flourishing as a Celtic. And OG. We've stated several times that he will now likely begin making more of an effort. Yeah, this is annoying. I mean, I get what you're saying, Jillian, but listen, I'm such a diehard Raptors fan. No, screw that. They go somewhere else. I don't want them to step up necessarily. I mean, listen, they're going to be who they are. In some ways, it's good luck to them. You're not in our nation anymore, and you're not somebody that I'm going to cover very closely. But, Fred doing well in Houston, I don't hate that. Nick doing well in Philadelphia, I kind of hate that. I kind of hate that. I don't hate on Fred doing well. OG doing well in New York as an individual will be fine, but I don't want the Knicks to do well. I don't want Malachi to get better because honestly, in some ways, it'll be really annoying if he starts playing better as a player overall. I will really get annoyed because Jillian, you've got to understand the 3 years of Malachi that we've had and how frustrating it's been. And if he just magically becomes a serviceable NBA player that's playing very well at a high level consistently all the time now, I'm going to be like, what the hell, Malachi? What the hell? We gave you a lot of opportunities. You couldn't do this for us.
That's how I'll be. I mean, everyone's a case by case basis. I wanted Norman to do well since he left. I want Kawhi to do well since he left our team. Seriously, the Clippers won the championship this year. I would not be upset. And, Kawhi is somebody I really respect and love. So it's on a case by case basis. Sure, I want Yuta to do well. I want Delano to do well to an extent, but not the team he's on. Jillian's got RJ and quickly all over her emotes now. Dennis is a gentle soul. Dennis, you can see who Dennis is on his YouTube. This is part of the thing. There's misconceptions about Dennis Schroeder. And before he did his YouTube channel, everybody just thought he was this wild man, crazy man who's just like really like outspoken and a problem. He's just a problem person. But at some point, and he's matured and he's more down to earth and he understands the NBA. He understands what it takes to win. He understands how much you have to want it. And in some ways, he's trying to get that across to some people that just don't understand how much you have to want it. And that's it. I mean, you can say he's absolutely a gentle soul. You got to see how he is with his children and his wife. And you will see a humanistic side of him. And a lot of the people that are like against him and hate him, I wish they would just watch his YouTube channel a little bit and see what he's really all about. And then, make sure you put on the subtitles because it's in German. And then you may feel better about him. You may understand him a little better. And you may not be like, okay, this guy's actually a really good guy. And this is, well, I don't understand why I thought this about him. That kind of stuff. Nameless saying Scotty's time at point guard was so very short-lived. I don't think it's over. And I think it's going to be on a game basis. And some games, the matchup may be really good, and Scotty can play full-time point guard most of the game. Some of the games, he may get exposed immediately, and it may not be a good idea for us to go in that direction more for the rest of the game. That's the thing. In some ways, it's about matchups and adjustments. And in some cases, that weaponizing Scotty as the point guard will be useful and will be used in certain times. But we can't expect this to just be his full-time job. And I would not want that. Once again, I'm very much on the record saying Scotty's habitat should be in the low post, taking high percentage shots over people like a power forward would. He's just the best place for him to score. The second best place is for him to shoot threes or go in the open. The open court is his absolute best habitat too. On the fast break, either passing or finishing. But yeah, I want him down low shooting shots. And in some ways, if he's a point guard, he's got to pass it to other people. No, they shoot worse than him. We want him to shoot. We want Scotty to shoot. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Nameless is saying he needs to be causing chaos all over the court, not limiting him to the backcourt. Yeah. Yeah. I keep saying it. There's 3 parts to Scott. There's a Magic Johnson part that we all know, and that's the part everybody wants to see more of in a lot of ways. There's a Kawhi Leonard part that's two-way, that is absolutely a blocks and steals guy who can make big plays on the defensive end that absolutely turn the game. And then I want to unlock the third part, and I kind of talked about it this weekend. It's the Tim Duncan part of him. He has the same body as Tim Duncan in a lot of ways. He has the same strength and kind of like aptitude, and he can block shots. So I want him to study the way Tim Duncan played team defense. The whole reason why the Spurs had such a high winning percentage as a franchise during the tenure and career of Tim Duncan is because the first thing he did was the most important thing, and that was play solid team defense where all of his teammates they felt like he had his back. This may be what Dennis is talking about right here, guys. That in some ways, some of the breakdowns with our team on defense are that somebody's getting through and they're getting past us to the basket. Now, Tim Duncan, when he played defense for the Spurs, he sealed that shit out. And what we need Scott to do is seal things out just like Duncan would. So if he could study Duncan, get better at team defense and understand spacing and how offenses shift and how Tim Duncan would handle that, this could be very fruitful for the Raptors. Because if we want to have a winning percentage as a team that's good, well, he should go mimic the guy who had the best winning percentage in the history of the NBA in a lot of ways for his team. And if you do more of what Duncan did, you can. You don't have to do it exactly to his level at the excellence, but if you do it in that direction, well, that may really be the key that turns this team around right now. Seriously, Scotty needs to be more of a team defense player. And if he can really shore us up and really be that glue guy that helps be the line of defense, comes over and blocks shots on the offside, does, that's the kind of stuff we need from him in some ways. We need to know he's got our backs on defense. Let's see. Wayne saying, Jillian, you need to detach. We don't care about former players. They're professional people who play kids' game. We don't hate. We don't worship. There you go. I like that. I like what Wayne's saying there. In some ways, it's good to not get too emotionally attached to the players. We're feeling it with OG right now. It's definitely. And I think this is right. We don't want to hate on them or be mean to them. Malachi's an extra special case. But, we also don't want to put them on a pedestal and act like they're gods or something like that. These are men that play a game and they get paid very much a lot of money. That's part of the deal. It's not easy to play in the NBA. It's not easy to get there, but that's why they get paid so much money. And in some ways, that's just part of the deal of everything. And, would these guys change anything? No, they're living their dream. They're glad to be in the NBA. And in some ways, really babying them and coddling them, it's silly because they're millionaires and they have anything they want. Let's see. Fun guy saying, wow, Lex, you're forming a narrative. Nobody linked any of Dennis's words to Scotty. This is the first time I've heard anyone link those two. All Dennis said is he doesn't feel brotherhood yet. That's none. I'm reading them. Jesus, wow. I'm reading their body language. I'm reading who's talking to each other. I'm reading how they are around each other, and I can read it. That's one of the things I do. I read body language when people are doing interviews, and I can tell what they really mean. And I'm just saying, I can tell that in some ways Scott is not connected. You can tell he's very connected with Chris. You can tell that. You can tell he's connected with Siakam. He really does like Siakam. Well, I want to see those same kind of connections on the court with Dennis and Jakob. And they're not happening. In some ways, there's a little bit with Jakob. And I've heard Scotty say in interviews that he really likes playing with Yak, that he's helpful. He does this with passing. He's good for this with rebounding and stuff. But in some ways, I have heard him say good things about Dennis too. But that's what we're talking about. Maybe Dennis is saying my team doesn't have my back defensively, or maybe my team doesn't have my back as far as like we don't feel like we're connected as friends enough, or like that we like gel in the right way. It's a gelling thing. It's either gelling on defense and having each other's back, or it's gelling personality wise and having a connection so that you can have a good rapport on the court with passing and being connected. Those are the things he's talking about. And like he said, you don't have to be friends off the court. You got to be friends on the court, though. And that's really what it is. Now, I'm just bringing it up because I think it is Scotty. Now, I may be completely wrong. I've said this. But from what I'm seeing and opening my eyes and watching it, there's a lack of connection with Scott and certain players on this team. And you can say it's Dennis's fault for that, but I don't think that's right. You could say it's Jakob's fault for that, but I don't think that's right either. I think it's Scott. And the reason why is because it was similar with Fred. It was similar, if it's anything like that, he's the common denominator. Jakob has gotten along with so many players throughout his whole career so far. He's the easiest person to get along with. Dennis, in some cases, no, he's not totally easy to get along with in some ways. But in some ways, everybody should be trying to listen to each other and get along. And the other thing Dennis said was he's reaching from his side to the people that he's not connecting with, and they're not reaching back. That's the thing that bugs me, is that he's trying very hard to make that connection with other people, and he's getting denied. And that's no good. If we're going to win and we're going to be a good team, we have to be a team. And that's all we're saying here. And it may not be Scott. I don't know, but he's the most crucial person in the middle that matters. Like I said, who is not Gary. Gary's got Gary Trent Sr. as his dad. In some ways, he may be a little bit. I don't know. I don't think so. I think Gary Trent Jr. is very smart. And he's really kind of an ultimate pro because his dad raised him. And he told him, you're in the NBA. You got to do this way. Gary's more old school than any of the other young guys because Senior played in the old school NBA. And he told him, this is how it is in the days of Oakley. And this is how it is with this and how we did things. So it's more likely that Gary Trent Jr. gets with the old school kind of head mentality of how to be an NBA player just because of his dad. And then who else is a younger and not, Siakam is not Siakam. Some people can say it's Siakam, but it isn't. We know his personality and who he is and how he is. He's been a good teammate and he's been a great person all around in all kinds of different ways. So we're trying to figure it out. This is the issue. We love the Raptors. We want to see them get it better. And well, we're just trying to figure it out. Jillian saying, at Wayne, respectfully, I believe OG said he wanted more to the Raps. They didn't go for it then. He purposely switched to New York agent. Contract coming. This is why he checked out the season. Cheers. I don't think that's exactly right. We made offers to these guys last year and they rejected them. Fred, Pascal, OG, they've been offered stuff. It's just that when we get rejected, we don't put it out there publicly. That's one of the biggest mysteries and the misconceptions around Raptors Nation is that our front office is not doing anything. That's bullshit. They made offers to these guys. They gave a contract extension to all three of them last year, and they all rejected it because they wanted more money and they wanted to wait. Fred for sure did. He lied. He said that he wasn't offered a contract extension last year. He lied. He bald-faced lied because last summer, after he signed the new contract with Houston, he did let it reveal in a podcast this summer that they did offer him an extension and he rejected it. Well, Siakam has now come out. We've heard that Siakam has rejected extensions from us in the last year, and so did OG. So, you can say you wanted more. Did he want more to play? Did he want more to pay? I don't know. That rumor Jake Fisher put out about OG wanting a bigger role, I think that's bullshit. I think it was then. It still is. I think that he's going to go to New York and he's going to have a similar role. And he's in the very lateral move from the Raptors to there. There's still Randall and Brunson that are above him. It's not like he's going to go there and he's going to be the man. No, he's going to be very similar to what he did for the Raptors. So it is what it is. He switched agencies and he chose the path to New York much earlier this year, way earlier this year. So this was all the writing on the wall. It was coming. Nameless is saying, sup, fun guy, brother? Pound that ish, mang. G saying, Dennis is basically saying they need to be more of a family and not so individual. I don't see an issue. Yeah, I'm with that too. He's saying that the NBA is an individual league and it's tough sometimes to stay together as a team. One of the big things that I really touted for the last 10 years of the Raptors' excellence is the exceptional leadership of Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan, because this is what they did when they were the top dogs, and how we built up to the championship was they didn't stratify themselves above the rest of the team. It was very important, Kyle and DeMar, that they traveled with the team. They did everything with the team. They didn't do any of this LeBron shit where they were special and they didn't have to ride with them or didn't have to do this. They could opt out of activities. Everything that the team did, Kyle and DeMar did it with them. And it very much gave a one for all and all for one kind of mentality around the Raptors during their period of time with Casey. That was part of the reason why we built up such a great nucleus. There was no stratification of players that are better are staying away from other people because they're snobs or something like that. That happens on a lot of NBA teams right now. The superstars are not like totally with the rest of the team because they elevate themselves above it. And if any of that kind of shit's happening on our team right now, I ain't about it, because that was not what DeMar and Kyle taught our guys. And this was part of the reason why Kyle got so mad at Kawhi around Christmas of the year we won the championship 5 years ago, just about 5 years ago, just passed. There was a point where Kyle got really mad at Nick and he started sitting at the end of the bench with a towel on his head. Y'all remember that? Well, the whole reason why he was mad was because Kawhi was getting special treatment by the Raptors and that he didn't agree with it. It wasn't with what DeMar and him had established with their team culture in the years leading up to our championship year. So this is what I'm talking about right now. There shouldn't be no stratification of anybody above other people in their mindsets. Now, I'm worried that Scotty may look at bench players as not being as important. He said some things on Twitch about how, the only guys that matter on the team are the guys who play. Now, if he's treating guys that don't get to play a lot on the bench with respect, that's no good. That's part of what Dennis was saying also, is that all the guys on the team are important and need to be treated with respect. So that's the only reason why I'm saying some of this stuff about with Scott, is because in some ways he may be stratifying things in different ways, whether it's who he decides he wants to talk to or give time to on the team, on whether they are what level on the team, or whether he has picking friends and personal favorites. These kind of things can be very damaging to a team and causing chaos and toxic shit. And if any of that kind of stuff is happening, I may be speculating, it needs to stop. And that's the same thing going back to DeMar and Kyle's philosophy of all for one for all. Nobody stratified over everybody else. That's the way they were the top dogs on the team, and they kept themselves at the same level as everybody else. We win a championship. That's all I'm saying. That's the stuff where I'm describing, and this is how a team can be a better team altogether. It's this. And now I don't know if I'm right on any of this. I could be completely off base and wrong, and I will apologize for it. But I'm just trying to see what it is and looking at it and trying to figure it out. And that's what I'm seeing. Let's see. The fun guy's saying this is really starting to be concerning, almost like you got something against Scotty. Lex said some pretty simple words, and already you've twisted them against Scotty again. Jesus is crazy then. Well, this is it, fun guy. We care about the Raptors winning. My ultimate priority is the Raptors to win, right? And we're not right now. So I want to try and figure out what the problem is. So in some ways, you got to look at yourself in the mirror honestly. You got to really look at yourself in the mirror honestly. You can't be coddling yourself or coddling Scotty or coddling Dennis or coddling any of them. You need to be really honest and brutal about it. And that's the only way things will get fixed or work. If it's a personality thing, well, that needs to change. In some ways, if Scotty is like this and he's a superstar, we may never win still. That's what I'm saying. Do you want to go through Scotty's career arc and he has personality flaws this whole time and we're just spinning our wheels is what I'm saying. That's part of the reason why I say this. Now, you guys may be sensitive because you want to defend Scotty. You have that feeling. I want to defend him too, but I want to be honest about this. I love Scott. I seriously do. He went to Florida State. We're both Florida boys. We grew up in the same state. We have a lot in common, Scotty and I. In some ways, we really do. We really do have a lot in common. It's just that that's part of the reason why I'm even tougher on him is because I understand him to a degree in some ways. And I really do want him to be the best player he can be. In some ways, this is more helpful to him than, the other channel kissing his ass and just trying to do everything, destroy everything around him for him. In some ways, that is not the right way to do this. We need to have a team around him for him to win. And if you want to just target and pick apart Fred, Pascal, RJ as they come through and they're around him, well, that's no good. That's no good. I'm just trying to figure out where the problem is. That's all. Julian saying, Wayne, I was addressing Lex's comments and former players that he just made. Cheers. It's all good. It's all good. This is going to be a little contentious. And some people in Raptors Nation may not want to go where I'm going these days. And that's fine. And I may be completely wrong. That's what I'm saying. If this is not anything that I'm saying these last few days is not true and it's found to be that way, I will completely apologize. I'll recant my statements. And I will say, listen, I was wrong, y'all. I was wrong. That was never, ever the issue, what I was saying. Fun guy saying, Dennis said some simple words. That's right. I don't think anything he said was that crazy or wrong. Mischief saying IQ and RJ are more reliable than OG. I checked how many games IQ and RJ played. They missed less games than OG. That's a good thing to check, Mischief. That's a good thing to check. Isaac saying Tom Duke out here hitting threes. All right, we're going to give Tomasino Ducarelli, even in his absence, he's getting the third dunk of 2024, Tommy, for being a little emoticon elf in the middle of the night. He came in and he changed them. There we go. Tom Duke is getting a dunk in his absence. Yeah, I like that. Tommaso Alfonso Ducarelli, the emoji fairy. Yeah, I love it. I love it. That's awesome. Fun guy saying, yes, Nameless, my guy. Yes, sir. That's right. I love the reunions. Nameless with Fun guy. It's awesome. Patchouli saying, sorry, Lex, but you seem to easily condemn Scotty, maybe because he's young and makes any kind of excuse for Dennis. Dennis is still the new guy, and you can't act like it's his team. It's not that Dennis is acting like it's his team. That's a problem too. Why is it anybody's team? It's everybody's team. That's the thing. People are going to say, Scotty's team is this and this. I mean, listen, y'all, I like that y'all want to do this for Scott. This is really good. In some ways, I may sound like somebody that's not going along with certain things, but that's because I want to be completely open and honest and not have any blind spots. In some ways, y'all may have a blind spot to Scotty right now that I'm seeing that you're not. And I just want to caution y'all on this. I want him to work it out. In some ways, I'd like Scott to hear me and think about it and ponder. And maybe if there is any issue like what I'm saying, he can make the adjustment. And then nothing will be wrong. He has the power in him, possibly, if this is the issue, to fix it. And that's the only reason why I say this stuff that I am saying right now. You know, I could be completely wrong. He's a sponge. He listens to everybody. He's very respectful. He's cheerful. He's the ultimate perfect teammate. But I'm telling you, there's tells that I'm seeing that make it seem like he may be kind of cliquish, and that's not good. We don't need a cliquish person on our team that, you know, may be insulting certain players on our team and putting them down, and meanwhile being very buddy chummy with other people. It's very manipulative and toxic in some ways. Let's just put it that way. Let's see. Wayne's saying, in professional sports, nobody gives you anything. You take your opportunities. Checking out is unprofessional and cowardly. It was obvious by his lack of effort. OG was coddled by Masai. Yeah, I think in some ways that's true. But in some ways that was needed and necessary and humanitarian. And there was nothing wrong with him doing that in some ways. Because, you know what? In some ways, Masai was a surrogate parent to OG, and that there's nothing wrong with that. I really like that about that relationship with them. I really do. All right, let's keep going with this. Jillian saying, nameless Tommaso Ducarelli, you're killing me. Yeah, we miss you, Tommaso Ducarelli. Haha. Fun guy saying 23 minutes till conference, I believe. Not sure. What the press conference is coming up around 11, maybe 11. I could see that. Nameless is saying, it was a great idea to trade now because think about all the extra time we have to salvage our season. Imagine if we had waited until it's too late and the damage was irrevocable. I think this is a really good timing because it really coincided with the flipping of the calendar. You know, it coincided with that game on Saturday, really nice. So, yeah, I think that it was masterful timing to make the OG trade. I really do. Very calculated by the front office. Very, very calculated. Captain Saver Bro is here. Good to see Captain Saver Bro. Hey, Raptors freak. How you been, man? How you been, Captain Saver Bro? Hey, let's make 2024 a fantastic year of saving a lot of bros. How about that, Captain Saver Bro? I'm all about seeing a good Raptor freak. Captain Saver Bro, back to return to the Raptor freak chat. I love it. Fun guy saying irrevocable. Wow, I've come across many terms because I'm just smart, but with it, laugh out loud. But man, that word I've never seen for some reason. So sophisticated a term. Thank you, Nameless. You added to my dialogue. This guy's not only teaching Italian, he's teaching English also today. Mischief saying, Vince set us back for years. I can't forgive Vince for what he said. He said, I ain't Duncan anymore. It just, you know what it was? Is a public display of disrespect towards our whole entire team and made us a laughing stock. And that really did cause a whole bunch of problems for the Bosch era because everybody put us down. And, you know, it really just caused the whole kind of like, it was really bad. As much as he looked good for us and built us up, he really kind of, I always say he built a very beautiful sandcastle on the beach and then he tore it down before he left. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about him. Let's see. Captain Saber Rose saying, sorry, I haven't been around much, been working a lot lately and been stuck on 12-hour graveyard shifts for the past month and a half. Really feels like I don't have a life right now. I can't even watch the Raptors. I want to say this right now, Captain Saber Bro. In some ways, you're being saved from the misery. In some ways, you're being saved from the disappointment. It is what it is. And in some ways, we just got to go through this time right now. So in some ways, you know what? At least we're not winning a lot and like going crazy and doing good things and you're missing out because of work. So, you know, do what you got to do. We appreciate when you can come in and it's just nice to see you and say, hey, you know, yeah, I hope that things lighten up for you a little bit better in the new year and hopefully, you know, have more time to watch the Raptors. Yeah. Jillian's saying it, Isaac, laugh out loud. If you eat pasta for the rest of the year, laugh out loud, you will carb crash at weird hours during the day, laughing out loud, holding you to it. I love this. I'm going to give Jillian the fourth dunk of the day for health advice for, Isaac there. Isaac, you should not eat pasta every single day for this whole entire year. That is crazy. That's crazy talk. And in some ways, I don't like it. I don't like that's unhealthy. That's unhealthy in some ways. So don't do it. Kevin's saying, quickly, Barrett, 3-and-D. Scotty Pascal with a good defensive player. I see potential with this squad. There you go. Kevin's painting a bright future for the Raptors. I like it. Let's see how it works tonight. Hopefully these guys are in Raptors jerseys and they're playing. That's what I want to hear. Fiercely saying, yeah, after knowing the behind-the-scenes schemes by OG's camp, I've moved on and I still wish him best. But like we keep hearing now and clearly see, it's a business. Yeah, whether it's Clutch with Rich Paul, Nick Nurse, and Fred VanVleet this past summer, whether it's CAA with OG in New York City. It's just how it is. Name is saying, haha, fun guy. And Captain Saber Bro saying, Happy New Year, my fellow Raptors freaks. Happy New Year to you, Captain Saber Bro. Let's make 2024 a great year for the Raptor Freak family and the Raptors, and just the Raptors 905, Masai Ujiri, everybody. Let's just have a fantastic year in Raptors world. Wayne's saying Pat Riley gave up on Precious. We took the risk of developing him and failed. Our failure to me was both Nick and Precious' general attitude. I prefer them going than Masai and Bobby. Front office is worth more. The front office is so majorly important. In fact, I said the summer that we re-signed Masai to his amazing contract to go forward with us, that was the best free agent signing of that summer. It wasn't a player. It wasn't anything but the vice president of the Raptors re-upping with us on a new contract. And I still believe that. I believe that this trade this weekend shows people that these guys are really good at their job once again. Even the negative detractors have to say this is a fantastic deal. And we're going to see it. We're going to start seeing it tonight. And that's part of it too, is right there, is that these guys had to show that they're still an active front office, an astute front office, and they can pull off a major deal like they did on Saturday. I'm all about it. Jillian saying, nameless, yes, I believe Masai when he said last year that the trade deadline wasn't good for making decisions. Well, yeah. I mean, the thing that Masai said historically throughout his whole tenure as the Raptors head is that he doesn't like making decisions under duress. In some ways, he kind of hates the deadline stuff. Like, in the draft, you have to have a timeline. You're on a countdown to make your draft pick. Well, he doesn't like that kind of stuff. He doesn't want to have to feel rushed or aggravated to make a decision because a timeline or a deadline. So that's something that he's very big about, because he understands that if you make decisions under duress, you're more likely to make a mistake. And that's really smart of our front office, that they don't really like looking at deadlines or working under pressure. In fact, they hate having to do that. In some ways, they have to do things under pressure because there are deadlines that matter. But for the most part, they feel like it's just like in your own life. If you're going to make a decision on a quick a decision and you're under duress, you may not make the right decision. And that's something they try to avoid. Let's see. Stargate saying, is there going to be a press conference today? There's supposed to be this afternoon with RJ Barrett and Emmanuel Quickly introduction. Yeah. MSJ's here. Good to see Chris. Great trade. Masai is now in a position of strength again with this one retool. And Lex, it's point forward, Scotty, now, not point guard. That's good. All right. I like that designation, Chris. I like that designation. Fiercely saying, don't forget to vote today for NBA All-Stars. Votes will be triple. This is a great thing for Fiercely to say. In fact, I'm going to give her another dunk. She's getting the second dunk already because this is true. It's triple votes for NBA All-Star today. So make sure you vote for Scotty and Pascal and whoever else. I've been voting for RJ and Emmanuel already too. I'll put them in already too. So yeah, triple vote count today for NBA All-Stars. Make sure your vote goes in. Fun guy saying, great, I'm going to vote for Scotty. That's right. Vote for Scotty and let's get Scotty starting in the NBA All-Star. He's going to make it. I tell you right now, if we don't vote him in as a starter, he's going to make it because the coaches will put him in. Igor saying, Raptors not have press conference for new players? No, they were going to today. Igor, you will see RJ and Emmanuel behind the microphone probably in the next hour or so. So be ready for that. You'll see it on YouTube probably. MSJ saying, I can't see Flynn ever doing anything in the NBA to whomever is sad about the loss of his role on the Raptors. That'd be interesting. I don't know. It'll be really weird if Malachi just all of a sudden blossoms and flourishes suddenly. I'll be like, what the hell? I'll be like, what is this? What is this? I'll be like that. Seriously. Slug Deezy's here. Good to see Slug Deezy. I did say over and over that the Raptors won't be good until they get a pull-up three, fast twitch point guard. And RJ is going to be a pleasant surprise too. There you go. Slug Deezy very happy with the Quickly acquisition, that this is something that was on his wish list for the Raptors, and it's fulfilling it. I know a lot of people are saying this, that this is a Quickly addition is a very, very good need that the Raptors have needed, and now we're going to get it. Jillian saying, Lex, addressing your comments, if a guy genuinely wasn't on a team where they flourish, this could be for all kinds of reasons. If they get inspired somewhere else, you can't hate on them. That's for all. That's all. The thing is, no, listen, all right, if we're specifically talking about Flynn, we gave him so many opportunities. He had all kinds of chances with us. And it's like 3.5 years of chances, Jillian. It was like all of Tampa year, the next year, the year after that, and this first half of this year. And he hadn't done jack shit for us in 3.5 years. That's the thing. That's the thing. Chris is saying, if a player is not on the Raptors, they are the enemy. Haha. Well, not really, but I have to be a team fan, and this is a great trade for the team. I love Kentucky guards, and IQ is just what I wanted. There you go, Chris. There you go. I mean, I don't take it that far. I don't take it that far. There's certain guys I absolutely will love for the rest of their career. DeMar DeRozan, Kyle Lowry, Jonas Valanciunas, Fred VanVleet. These are guys that I'm always going to love just because of their time with the Raptors and what they did for us. And I can't hate them, even if they're on the other side. I can't hate DeMar. I can't, even though his daughter is screaming at us. I can't. Jillian saying at MSJ, would love to hear how Kentucky makes guards different. Cheers. Well, it's a tradition. If Bryce Lawson was here, he could tell you a little bit better being a Kentuckyite. It's Tubby Smith's history. There's a certain thing about Kentucky and their program and the way that they have held themselves and their culture. It's like heat culture. In some ways, it's like a college basketball heat culture is basically what it is. And, there's a specific kind of player that has come from Kentucky for decades now that is very much a good NBA player because they have a certain level of compete and professionalism. And that is the world of Tubby Smith right there. Let's see. Cool Cat saying, Lex, perhaps it's because it's Scotty's team and Dennis needs to approach it that way instead of Dennis trying to have control of the team. Well, this is the thing. This whole thing is by committee. Nobody is specifically just the leader of the team. Scotty is the franchise. Sure. Scotty's a franchise player, but this has been ordained by the coach. It's been ordained by the whole team that the leadership structure. And maybe this is part of the problem is Thaddeus, Garrett, Otto, Dennis, Scotty, Pascal, all these guys all together. It's like a committee. It's like a Grand Poobah tribal council is what it is. If there was a specific guy like Fred last year, that would be good. I don't think Scotty's old enough to do it yet. That's part of the problem. If he's old enough, he can take the full reins at some point, but I don't think he's exactly ready yet. And Siakam, it's just not his personality. We've talked about this. So in that vacuum of leadership, there's a chorus of voices. And those voices are coming from the older players. And that's Garrett, Thad, Otto, and Dennis. And unfortunately, Dennis is a good voice of guidance. That's part of the problem. If Scotty is rejecting older voices of guidance on the team, then the problem's with Scott. I'm just saying, you guys can act like Dennis shouldn't be coming in there and trying to do stuff, but he's a vet. He's played in the NBA for 10 years. He's played in the playoffs last season. He has way more experience on certain things than Scotty does. That's just the damn truth. And you guys can act like, oh, you shouldn't be telling him what to do and stuff like that. Oh, no, he should, because he knows the game and he knows the NBA better than him. It's just like Thad does too. And that's the part of the problem. This is the thing. The Raptors are in the middle of one of the biggest problems in the league right now. The rejection of old head leadership by young players coming in that don't want to listen to them. This is happening on all the teams around the league to a certain extent, and maybe more pronounced on our team in some ways. But this is an issue. It's a generational issue in some ways. It's the rejection of the old kind of mentality of how the NBA should be, because the young guys are coming in and say they want to make their own league. Well, there's a disconnect in how to win in the league, because you need to listen to the old heads because they know how to win. And if the youngsters are coming in and they think they just know how to do it all and they don't want to listen to these guys, well, they're going to fail over and over again. And that's all I'm saying. I just want him to listen to the older players. That's all. He doesn't even have to do what they say. He just has to respectfully listen to them and show that he's engaged with them and he's not tuning them out. It could very well be Dennis came in like a ball of thunder and said, listen, guys, this is how we did it in Germany. And this is how we did it. And this was how we did it. And we did so good and we were successful. And then maybe it did rub Scott the wrong way. But didn't it rub him the wrong way when Fred did the same thing last year? Is it going to rub him the wrong way if RJ Barrett comes in today and says, this is how we're going to do this to win today, guys? That's the problem right here. Part of the problem is that Scott's not mature enough to be the numero uno leader himself. He doesn't know exactly what he's doing on the court yet, so he can't do it. And in some ways, he wants to be that guy, but he's not ready yet. I wish he was, but he's not. And that's part of the disconnect and the problem on this team. Does that make sense, what I just said? It's about listening to the leaders. And if he's tuning them out and he's not listening to them, well, that's telling Dennis he's disrespecting him. And he's saying, well, at least listen to me. You don't exactly have to do what I'm saying. It's just I'm seeing Scotty rejecting older voices, like his coach even, and what they're telling him to do, and he's not doing it. And that's why I think it's him. Because Thad gets in his face like that. I've never seen Thad Young dog anybody out like that his whole entire career. It's not in his personality. I don't think I've ever seen him talk to his children like that, ever. So that's why I'm telling you the problem's Scott. The problem is Scott. Let's see. Let's see. Fun guys saying not just guards, they get absolutely amazing products all over, probably due to it being just a bigger, famous school and can afford the best scouts and give best scholarships. Yeah, that's probably true about Kentucky Wildcats. They do get a lot of good players all around. You can think back to what Ron Mercer days, like way back. What with Antoine Walker, wasn't he on the Kentucky Wildcats? Yeah, they've had a lot of good players. Igor saying, "Comrade Freak, have a good year, New Year." Thank you, Igor Volkov. Thank you. You too. Dat Canadians here. We got a new name. Every single morning, we're talking Raptors at 9:30 a.m. Tomorrow, we'll react to the game tonight. We're just previewing, setting it up. OG wanted a real bag. We just found two players that could pay basically the same amount for those two as we did for that one. There you go. In some ways, we consolidated, taking three players into two, but also we found two good, serviceable, possible starters for one good starter. There's a lot to like about this deal for sure. G saying, yes, Slug, we've been saying one main issue has been not having the other shot creating guard on. We need two true point guards or two true guards on a more traditional way, even if Scotty and Pascal play point forwards. Now they are more versatile as a team. You know, if we have a lineup with Quickly and Dennis in the backcourt, Scotty and Pascal can be the point forwards. Seriously, I don't see that being a problem. Let them carry the ball up and distribute. But I'd like them to switch. I don't want Scotty doing it full time because it'll wear him out. In some ways, Pascal being able to do it also is very, very good. And that was why Nick did it last year. That's kind of what he did as a backup point guard was he'd have Siakam and Barnes kind of switch back and forth with the backup point guard after Fred last year. Let's see. We're more versatile as a team. I agree. Dat Canadian saying, I'm high on giving Quickly and RJ a chance to develop in the backcourt so Scotty can attack more at the three. Also takes pressure off Scotty on the off the main point guard. Yeah. See, Dat Canadian's kind of understanding what I'm saying. I want Scott to have the best things for him. And in some ways, there's a lot of pressure being a starting point guard that in some ways is kind of a detriment and it's just a distraction. We want him to do everything. And he can do everything and be a point forward and pass and do all this kind of stuff. But we don't want him to have to fight against small guards trying to guard him and all the cardio of running around after small guards. Also, there's all kinds of different things. If we can avoid him having to expend the energy in those areas and he has more energy for big boy stuff in the lane or finding good passes to other people in other places, that's what I'm all about. MSJ saying they have Coach Calipari. And he has been able to mold guards into NBA superstars like SGA, Maxey, Booker, Jamal Murray. It's Kentucky culture to play a guard-style game like Georgetown has bigs. Yeah, there's been good Kentucky bigs also, somebody said also. Kevin's saying, I don't want to pay OG $40 million. He's not worth that money. That's all-star money. $30 million is what I offer him if I'm Masai. Yeah, we're not going to offer him anything, I don't think. I think it's just he's going to get offered by New York. Now, the New York fans think they're going to get him for $20 million a year, and I'm laughing at them. You think you can get him for $20 million a year? Y'all are crazy. It's going to be at least 30, if not 40. I could see that. Jillian saying, Lex, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm sure OG wanted more and Raps rejected it. Yes. I don't know. It's not OG's. It's the offer they sent to him. It's like they send the extension, and his agent and him look at it, and they like either take it or not. If they do a counter offer, maybe. But I don't know if they actually do that. I think that it's just this is what we're willing to do. I don't know how it goes down. Once again, our front office is really good. They don't tell anybody what they're doing. And they have extensions offered to these guys that get rejected. But Grange and Lewinberg and all them aren't going to say anything about it because it's just not known to the public. It's very much kept in-house. Kweku's saying, where did Scotty say that? Sounds like he has a big ego. Thoughts on who might be as a backup center today? Which part? I'm not sure, Kweku. I want to make sure which part. Because I want to make sure I'm clear. Either way, elaborate, say it, write it out. When did Scotty say this specifically? And then I can answer it. And Kweku's saying, thoughts on who might be the backup center today? Well, hopefully Jonte's okay. You know what? Let me go look in my email and see if our source has sent me anything about Jonte today. It could be that he has told me what's going on with him. No, I don't see any emails from him. So, all right, nothing, no news on Jonte and his COVID status right now. I'd love to see Jonte get healthy really fast and be back. So I don't know. This backup center right now is Thad Young. It's Scotty Barnes and Thad Young is who it is. Kweku. Let's see. Wayne Strainer saying OG wasn't worth any more than he's getting currently. I see a disconnect between players on our team. Playing defense was problematic. Now we know OG checked out, meaning no coverage for Dennis. Yeah. And Fun Guy saying, laugh my ass off. This is funny. I know a lot of people just do not agree with my takes on Scotty right now. They really don't. And that's fine. That's fine. I hope I'm wrong, honestly. I hope I'm completely wrong. And the things that I'm reading are just too deep and wrong and totally off base. I really do. This is a case where I want to be wrong. This is a case where I absolutely want to be wrong about Barnes. Seriously. I really do want to be wrong. But I have to be open with open eyes right now and what I feel like I see. Juliet's saying, you guys remember that Sunday game time isn't normal today. It's late, 7:30. Go, go, go. All right. So, yeah, they're going to play. I think they're playing just at 7:30 tonight. That's the normal start time for us tonight. Let me see. January 1st. Bam. Yeah, there's 7:30 start tonight for the game at Scotiabank. Guardian Transit's here. Good to see Guardian Transit. We have Scotty with IQ now. We actually have IQ, both IQ, Barrett, who can run the transition game. Big improvement for the Raptors. I'm excited to see how this works, man. I really am, Guardian Transit. And it's funny you say we have Scotty with IQ now. Yeah, IQ. IQ and IQ over there. Cool Cat saying, Lex, I don't agree with Dennis making those statements publicly. Raptors culture is deal with things internally and never in media. This is Dennis's first time in public NBA role, and he's outing the team. I get what you're saying, Cool Cat. And in some ways, I agree with you that I don't like airing dirty laundry, but I don't feel like he would do this if it wasn't necessary. We got to remember, Dennis was on the Laker team that was really dysfunctional recently, and they're very outspoken about issues with their team, and there's a lot of that going on. In some ways, we're the opposite. We really don't talk about stuff, and maybe Dennis isn't getting with the Toronto Raptors program. Now, could it be that if he did anything wrong in that press conference, that why did they put it on blast with the official Raptors account and they didn't post Siakam's interview? That's interesting to me right there. And then second, if he did do something wrong, would Masai and Bobby punish him or tell him not to do that ever again? Maybe. I mean, I'm not saying what you said is wrong. In some ways, I don't agree with him bringing it out so publicly, but he did. And we can't put that genie back in the bottle. And I'm not totally mad at him for this because once again, we're on the outside looking in. And last year, we had so many questions about what the hell was wrong with this team, and nobody was answering any questions. And Dennis kind of just answered some of the questions, and they make sense. They make absolute sense. It's about not having each other's back on defense. That's really what it is. He needs to be able to feel like they've got his back just like the Team Germany team did. And these guys don't have each other's back. And that's a fundamental problem. They need to get each other's back. And that's just so important. So important. Kweku's saying, who might the Raptors choose to model their play after now, considering the new two additions? These are fantastic questions by Kweku this morning. Holy crap. I don't know. What team in the league are we more like now? Because in some ways, we're not the old defensive weird team that Nick had the last couple of years at this point. With Quickly and Barrett, we're an offensive team more. We're not going to be as good on defense now. And we're really going to have to keep up with the scoring and try and get stops, timely stops, but also competent scoring consistently through the game. We can't have any of these dead spots where we don't score for 5 minutes anymore. That's one of the biggest Achilles heels of our team. And in getting these two guys, hopefully this will help shore up those dry spells where we ain't going to have them no more. I don't know. We're going to have to see. I don't know. I want to see them first, Kweku. And maybe they'll have like something about them that makes, this kind of makes me think of this team in the NBA. Ask this question tomorrow after we see them at least once, and then I'll tell you what I think. Fun Guy saying, Lex, I can tell you you're wrong right now, so no need to wait, bro. All right. Well, over time, we'll find out. And seriously, I have no ego in this. If I'm wrong, I'm very happy that I'm wrong. Trust me. If I'm wrong, I'm very happy. Dat Canadian saying, Emmanuel Quickly gives me Tyrese Maxey vibes, or is it just me? Well, there is he's very much like Maxey. They played at Kentucky together. They're a similar type of guard. Yes, we've got a Tyrese Maxey type player now on our team. And that's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Guardian Transit saying Raptors got their Maxey. That's right. MSJ saying, hang on, jumped ahead. And do give me a cutoff because Adriana's here and we're going to hang out some more on New Year's Day here. Let's see. Who am I at? I'm at Oh, Duke Rocks is back again today. I love seeing that. Okay, here I am. MSJ saying Barnes is a great player, but not a player to grab a chip on his own on a bad team like LBJ or something. Masai is right to retool around him to make a better team. Barnes is a team super glue guy. Yeah. I mean, listen, I know he's got a great personality. I know he's a nice guy. I know he's really got a great heart. There's all kinds of things about Scotty that are amazing. I just wonder if there's blind spots. That's all. That's all I'm trying to investigate. That's it. Blackhawk saying we got to stop having knee-jerk reactions to interviews. We're not privy to everything in the locker room. This is a fantastic comment by Neil, and he's right. In some ways, he's right that there's a lot more that goes on behind there, and people have told us this. Like Fred said it. It's like if y'all knew exactly what was going on with the team on the team plane, how much we talk, how much there's all this kind of stuff going on between us, you would be shocked. And you have no idea because you guys don't know because it's sacred to hide the team stuff and keep the team stuff within the team. And this is so true by Blackhawk. In some ways, I don't know, Dennis crying out like that, in some ways we can read into it, but I get why Blackhawk's saying this. I get why he's saying this. I do. Julian saying at Wayne, oh my God, Dennis was already overworking because of Malachi. So yes, perhaps if OG wasn't guarding on him on enough on top of Malachi, weirdites, what a mess. Well, I'm wondering about this. Maybe Dennis said some of the stuff that he felt comfortable about saying was because the people that he was talking about were the people who had just left. Maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe that was part of the problem. Maybe he felt like OG didn't have his back. Maybe because he got flipped by OG. I don't know. I don't know. Once again, we're speculating. And like Neil's saying, I maybe should not be making knee-jerk reactions. But this is kind of what I do on this channel. MSJ saying super glue is his nickname. Double stamped it. Is perfect. Super glue Scotty. I will inform Matt Devlin. All right, Matt Devlin, if you're listening, Chris has requested you call Scotty super glue Scotty. Okay. I don't know. Cool Cat saying Lex, Raptors culture do not air your grievances publicly. Work on the issue internally instead. Dennis is a vet. He should know better. Well, like I said, Cool Cat, if he did something wrong, Masai and Bobby will talk to him or Darko, and he'll get in trouble. He'll get in trouble, and that should be done privately also. But listen, he didn't listen. There's been all kinds of crazy interviews in the NBA over the years. People throwing people under the bus, people saying things like Ben Taylor and Fred VanVleet. There's going to be a certain amount of wild cards in the press. And in some ways, I really don't think what Dennis did was that awful. In some ways, he's just trying to help the press get answers for why the team's wrong. And he's telling the truth. In some ways, he's an honest guy. You go up to him and you ask him a question, he's going to answer it. And unfortunately, maybe it is kind of going against the Raptors culture of not leaking or saying things about it. But this is Dennis's personality. He lives a very open life. In some ways, him and I are birds of a feather. He's very outspoken. He puts his whole life on display on YouTube. And that's part of it. I mean, if it's a wrong thing he did, they'll correct him and he won't do it again. Watch, because he does listen to his bosses and who's in charge. Like if Masai said, don't do that again, Dennis, please. He probably won't ever do it again. That's another thing I trust with him, is he's smart like that. Let's see. Dak Canadian is saying, I'm not making a playoff push. I'm completely focused on development. It will also give Darko a bit of a break from all the hate. Yeah, I'm with this. I am with this. As long as the casual fans aren't thinking that our record is indicative of how good the coach is. If we go more in a development path and we're trying to work on getting the guys better or fitting them together better, then I'm with that. I'm totally with what that Canadian's saying. That in some ways we do need to kind of figure out which route we're going towards for the rest of the season. In some ways we'll have to do a discovery mode tonight with the new guys coming in and just see how much it hits out of the park. Hopefully it starts right away with success. And then maybe we can reroute our course this year into the playoffs. But if it doesn't, well, we'll know. And we may need to go more in a development route and continue to maybe make moves also. Duke Rocks is saying, is there going to be a press conference to introduce RJ and IQ? Yes. And it could be very soon. So I want to finish up. 12 o'clock is my hard cutoff. 11:30 is likely where I want to be done. G saying, Cool Cat, I agree with you, but this seems to be an ongoing issue and maybe needs to be called out publicly. We'll see if things get better. Quickly and RJ seem to have great personalities which help. Well, Emmanuel Quickly is a man of God. He very much believes very strongly in his faith. We know RJ Barrett's from a fantastic family, and he has a lot of great ties and support in this country already. We know Nab Bhatia knows RJ Barrett very, very well. And we know Nab Bhatia will have a car for Emmanuel quickly as soon as he comes across the border. So these guys will be taken care of in some ways. And hopefully their addition as personalities will be good. Part of why I'm saying what I'm saying about Scott right now is I am a little worried about how he gets along with RJ Barrett. Cool Cat and we talked about it yesterday. Cool Cat bringing up that RJ and Scotty went at each other when they were younger in youth competition against each other. And I don't know what their relationship is. And this is what I'm saying. I don't want Scott to have to give people seals of approval on whether they should be on the team or not in some ways. That's the thing that pisses me off. If he's doing any kind of LeBron shit, like I don't want this guy on my team, like he did to Schroeder before, that's screwed up. I don't want to do that. So in some ways, this is the thing. It's going to be a test partly with RJ coming in and Emmanuel. That is Scotty going to reject them as his teammates or not? Because I don't want that. If he is continually rejecting teammates, that's no good. That is no good, and I'm gonna have a problem with that. Seriously. Let's see. Fun guy saying nameless. Even Lex fumbled saying the term. Laugh out loud. His vocabulary knowledge is beyond mine. Irrevocable. I just hadn't said in a while. It's a tongue twister. It's irrevocable that I don't know how to say it exactly. That's hilarious. Fun guy, you're getting a dunk. You're getting a dunk for that because in some ways you just gave me a big compliment, but it's funny too. So I'm a fun guy getting a dunk, his first dunk of 2024 right now. All right, let's see. Jillian saying, cool cat, good for Dennis. Yeah, we'll have to see. We'll see. If there's fallout for him speaking out, well, there will be. There may be on the down low. We won't know it. Wayne saying, honestly, our fix is to start winning. Front office is trying to address stupid losses due to some players' non-productive games. Let's see the next 7 games if any fixable changes are manifested. I love the Raps. There you go, Wayne Strainer. You're going to get a dunk just for professing your love with tough love. And we know that Wayne wants the best for the team. And what he's saying isn't like mean or anything. He's just trying to, he wants what I want. And Wayne and I are very alike right now. We very much are. We're being a little bit tough love right now. Let's see. Nameless is laughing. And MSJ saying the mic has a very professional sound. Is it bringing out the timbre of my voice? Can you really hear the radio voice in my voice with the professional mic? I don't know. I'm going to have to watch this back and I'll be like, whoa, Lex, this is a new level. 2024, it's a new level. It's 10:45, almost time for 11. Conference, yeehaw. Cool Cat saying OG's dad died suddenly, so Masai took on a big brother role to help him deal with the grief and grow as a young man. Masai helped Pascal, and Masai is helping Scotty develop into a great young man too. Yes, I agree with this, and that's part of the difference with our team president with other franchises. We have a little bit more of a humanitarian family vibe. In some ways that helps, in some ways that can hurt also. But yeah, I love that Masai's like this. In fact, this is one of the things I really value about him is that he really does look out for the guys on our team and really cares. And that goes a long way for not only just the young player to feel loved and grow and develop better, but also to keep them loyal. Masai showing such strong personal interest in different people is really good. Guardian Transit saying, we, the North, now have a solid young core going at love IQ, 30, 35 footer, sink, shoot threes. He's also an amazing offensive rebounder. Man, I want to see it in action tonight. 7:30, Cleveland Cavaliers, come get some. Yeah, RJ's on our team now. Josh Monroe saying, will having IQ and RJ allow Scotty to work more in the paint and move more off ball at times to play like a forward? I hope so. That's what I'd love to see more of. That's me personally. I think that's the right route because Scotty is such a good low post scorer. I just think that that's the right route. I hope that's true, Josh. We'll have to see. Tonight, a lot of answers will be given to us with the new additions. G saying Giannis, Embiid, Joker, all international players, all recent MVPs. Do they play more as a family? I'm wondering if the North American style, which is more individualistic, clashes at times. This is a fantastic comment. In fact, I'm going to make this the first 3-pointer of the year. G, you're getting the first 3-pointer ever on this channel. Because honestly, I think you just really nailed something that's so important about this whole thing. And this is something that Darko and Dennis have talked about. That in Europe, the way that they come up is really team first. And the U.S. players are trained to, you got to get the NBA, you got to be cutthroat. It's a very individual mindset. And in some ways, part of the reason why the NBA players that are doing the best in the league, the names that he just put there, Antetokounmpo, Embiid, Joker especially. Like, people say that Nikola Jokic is the best teammate in the whole entire league right now. That Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, these guys love playing with him. Like, he's a joy to play with. Like, these guys get up out of bed like with a bounce in their step because they know they're going to the gym to play with the big Joker. That's the thing. His mentality is so unselfish. Like, Nikola Jokic is the epitome of the right way to play basketball. And in some ways, he's like so individually good, but he makes the team so much better around him because of his philosophies, the way he plays, the sacrifice, the way he loves his teammates. And that is the thing that we need more of in our main guy on this team. Be more like Jokic. And maybe it is a Euro versus US difference in the way we're teaching the skills. In some ways, the skills that they're teaching in Europe are passing skills, are team skills on defense and in systems. And what we're teaching them in the States is dribbling skills and shooting skills and individual skills. That this may be the biggest, hugest disconnect between U.S. young players and European young players, and why European players are more successful and playing better in the NBA these days. That the skill training is at the younger levels is in a way different kind of bracket of skills. And that's interesting to me. I think G hit it on the nail on the head right there. It's the family atmosphere of the Nuggets is why they won the championship. And Jokic is that leader of that. Jillian saying, Lex, great that you have a big Yeti. Hope it has a stand because your hand will get really tired. There's like a box underneath my hand. I'm not totally holding it up by myself, but I want you guys to see it. So I'm just kind of, my hand is the boom. Wayne saying, Raptor Streaks, we make an average of 2 to 3 3-pointers in games. Our win percentage increase is exponentially. We just couldn't hit shots, easy shots. Thank the front office now. Well, let's see it first, Wayne. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. I want to see RJ and Emmanuel boost our offensive production. I want to see us be able to hang with teams like Indiana and the Phoenix Suns offensively with firepower, because we've got a little bit more guns in the OK Corral. I'm all about this. I want to see Emmanuel quickly put up 20 right now, tonight. I want to see RJ go for a big number too. In some ways, I want to see Scotty and Siakam feast too. I want to see all these guys getting shots, and maybe we could get like 140 points tonight. That'd be fantastic. That'd be absolutely fantastic. If it's going to be more of a shootout, well, we better be shooting better. That's for damn sure. Let's see. Infamous is saying, I hope we can now squash the narrative that Masai favors African-born players. He traded Precious, who came from Giants of Africa. Listen, it's a strength he has. Why wouldn't he utilize his extreme knowledge of the players coming from that continent? Of course, we're going to utilize that. It's a gift. It's a plus. It's a positive. But that doesn't mean he's just going to focus completely on getting all players from Africa going forward. No, in fact, he said in the press conference in the offseason that there's a lot of talent to be mined from Africa and from Canada. And that he's very specifically said that he's very interested in Canadian players. And RJ may be the first of some to come. Like, some people are already speculating that Siakam could get turned around and traded for somebody like Wiggins. And all of a sudden, Andrew Wiggins is on our team. I don't know if that fits completely. But more people are asking for more Team Canada guys coming here. I know that Villain Dylan would be fun in a Toronto Raptors jersey. Kelly Olynyk, we just saw him recently with Utah. That's another guy. If you brought him back to Canada, it'd be interesting. So yeah, I think Masai is just one of the best scouts in the world. Like, that's really what his main job was when he started. He was just one of the best scouts in the NBA ever. And now he's a vice president of a team. And that's a strength of his, but he can find players in any corner of the world. Don't get it twisted. His sweet spot, sure. Of course, he's got a real pulse on the continent of Africa, but he's got a pulse on U.S., Europe, South America, Asia. He's all over. Cool Cat saying, Lex, in NBA business, the elite stars are treated differently. Everyone needs to fall in line. Jordan, Magic, Kawhi, Bird, Steph, Butler, Dennis needs to fall in line. Tatum, Brown. See, it doesn't have to be that way, though, Cool Cat. And you know that our championship was partly built on what you're describing. I'm serious. Kyle and DeMar, did not delineate themselves in that kind of way above the rest of the team. And it was very healthy. I don't think Jokic does what you're talking about on his team, and they're the current champs. I think that part of the reason why LeBron has not won more in his career is because he stratified himself to a degree above everybody else. I think that it's really smart if you can be a humble leader on the team and a top dog on your team and still do everything with everybody. That goes a real long way. Let's just put it that way. So you can say, well, this is just how it is. But no, that's not totally true. Some teams do not operate like this. And the Raptors, for most of the 2010s, did not operate like this. And that is a huge reason why they had so much success with Kyle DeMar and Dwayne Casey and Jonas Valanciunas as the main people on our team. So I beg to differ. Yeah, sure, Jordan got Jordan treatment to a certain extent, but also Jordan didn't skip practices. Jordan didn't do different things to exclude himself from the team in some ways that were important. But yeah, he had more things on his time, demands on his time, and had to do more of this and more of that. And you get to a certain level of superstardom, well, it's just really difficult to keep with the team in a grounded way, like I just described. But ideally, you'd like to keep that as much as possible. It's a problem if you got a snob on your team that looks down on everybody else because they're not as good as them. It's a problem. Magic isn't like this either. Magic is very much like Kyle and DeMar. Every single thing that Magic Johnson, that he did everything that the Lakers did, everybody else. He didn't stratify himself above anybody. He didn't make himself have a bigger ego, and he didn't do certain things. No, he was there for everything. So I can even point out, you're saying Magic in there, but he doesn't fit in that category. He does not, because he was the same with everybody when his career was going on. And he did everything that James Worthy on down to Kurt Rambis and Jeff Lamp did. He was with them the whole time. So I disagree with that statement completely. Some of those guys for sure, LeBron for sure. But I don't even know if Steph Curry does that. Like, seriously, he doesn't seem like that type either. I think he's in the trenches and makes himself just one of the guys on his team, Steph Curry. So I don't think your list is right. I don't even think Jimmy Butler's like that. I think Jimmy Butler's like Kyle. And that's part of the reason why the Heat culture is so good, is because Kyle and Jimmy aren't having airs and putting themselves above everybody else. No, Kyle Lowry's not like that. Let's just put it that way. And Jimmy Butler's a bird of feather with him. They're not stratifying themselves above Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero and all the other Heat players. So, yeah. All right, let's see. Jillian saying, thanks, Fiercey. We'll triple vote for Scotty today. Then cheers. Yeah, thank you for the heads up. Guardian saying, do not forget the second round pick. It is a decent pick. Scouts need to now do their job and get the right guy to go with the new flow, get the piece that fits the new look. Yeah. Yeah, and some of it is personality. Bobby Webster, if you're an FBI profiler, you better make sure you get the right personality mix. And in some ways, we got to cater to Scott's personality in some ways. I completely agree with that. Yeah, that second round pick is something that not a lot of people are talking about. They're also not talking about the extra roster spot we have open right now. That there could be a move today and we add a new Raptor player all of a sudden. That second round pick could be very fruitful. It's basically a late first round pick because it's Detroit's pick. So it's most likely going to be the 31st pick of the draft. So this is going to be very interesting to see how this develops with that pick. It's going to be very much like a Coloco level pick, and we'll see how it goes. Wayne Strainer saying Stephen A. Smith supports the Knicks. His microphone is loud, so we'll see how tough non-productive player like Malachi and Precious fare. It's not going to be pretty. Yeah, it's going to be funny. Kevin Pelton of ESPN has rated the deal that we did with the Knicks. He's giving the Knicks an A- and us a C. Yeah, he's haters. It's really a war perception. They know that most of the fans in the NBA perceive that the Raptors won the trade, but ESPN wants to go out and try and change the narrative through the mainstream media and say that we got a C for the trade. Kevin Pelton saying that. And meanwhile, he's giving an A- to the Knicks. I don't know. We'll see over time, buddy. They got Malachi and Precious. You don't understand how that affects the trade, Kevin Pelton. All right, let's see. Fun guy's saying what Lex is saying isn't even a valid problem. Clicks and stuff, laugh out loud, bro. Everyone has their close friends. That's normal. Feeling left out on a team of like 20 guys isn't up to Scotty. Laugh my ass. Like, I mean, I just get this whole thing about all for one and one for all. And Dennis did say in his statement in the interview this weekend that he feels like some guys are not treating everybody equally. Like everybody on the team is important. And, in some ways, I could see that kind of behavior with Delano and Justin and their little clique that they were doing, like with the Justin doing the sunning thing. I'm telling y'all, that sunning thing is a root of a lot of the issues with our team right now. It's showing disrespect to lesser players on the team, like Justin did to those guys in the interview, like Jeffrey Doughton Jr. and Ron Harper Jr. That was bullshit. And that kind of shit shouldn't have been around our league, our team. In some ways, I really did not like Justin for that. Some of y'all thought it was funny and clowning around, but you don't understand how toxic that is for a team on the inside. And in some ways, the disrespect he showed Jeffrey Doughton Jr. was not necessary, and it caused problems for our team probably. So you can say that this isn't a valid problem, but I will tell you you're wrong. Cliques can very much be a problem, just like in high school. You got a little group that sits at the lunch table and they bully everybody else because they think they're the cool kids. No, that's fucked up. And we ain't having no cool kids clique on our team. Everybody's together and they're on the same page. It may be very well why Jakob's not totally getting along with him, because he sees this and he's like, I'm not about this. We should all be teammates. And this is not cool. You guys are not being nice in some ways. Scotty did say before the season, I think it was last season, he said, one of the things I learned this past year is that I need to be nicer to my teammates. He did say that, y'all. He said that, in some ways, we've heard him on the Twitch when he plays the NBA 2K, how he yells at Lloyd and he demeans him and bullies him when he fails. Now, Scotty yelled at Precious in the game that one time when they both hit the ball into the basket against Philadelphia. You remember that? When they were trying to rebound and they both went up for it and they hit it into the other team's basket by accident instead of defensive rebounding. Well, he turned around and he yelled at Precious in a demeaning way right after that. I'm just saying there's a proclivity for Scott to yell and demean his teammates next to him at times. And that's part of what I'm worried about also. G saying, does Joker want to be treated differently? Giannis? That's where I think there's a culture clash. They came to the NBA the hard way. Giannis sharing shoes with his brothers. Joker was a pick in 41. Yeah. Yes and yes. I think Giannis is a good teammate. We see how fun he is at NBA All-Star. He's very much involved with everybody and all about it. I don't think he stratifies himself above his team. I don't think Joker does either. And that's part of it right there. That's what I'm talking about right there, is the want to be treated differently than other players for some reason, just to feel better about yourself or have a hierarchy. I don't want that around my team. I don't know if that's happening. I'm not saying it is. Guardian saying, I'm not a betting man, but my take is that the Raptors come out huge on this deal. So if I were to bet, where my thoughts lie. There you go, Guardian Trans. I like the belief in this team to do well. And because of that, I'm going to get Guardian Transit on the board. You're getting a dunk for 2024. There you go. He's actually not even on the list yet. This is the first dunk for Guardian Transit ever. He had not gotten a dunk in the year before. So there you go. You're added. Oh, I wrote that in wrong. It's an F. That's not right. All right, there. We get it right there. Boom. All right, keeping on going. Cool Cat saying, Lex, it is Scotty's team, and the elders should act as his consultants, not the leader. Pascal's approach with Scotty is how Dennis should approach it. This generation pays attention to tone. Okay, Tone, we can listen to Tone. Once again, Wayne and I will be tough love and say, well, we'll bark at you like drill sergeants. You have a problem with that? Go cry in the corner, baby, is what we'll act like. Seriously. I mean, listen, it is Scotty's team, but the transitionary period to him being a mature player that is a real leader on the team is not there yet. In some ways, we need surrogate leaders above him right now because he can't lead this team properly. It's whether like he can lead it on the court and take over and do it with his play. Then I'll start saying he can lead the team properly. But in some ways, being behind the scenes, they know way more about the league and how to do things in the league. And if he has problems with people kind of giving him advice and talking to him without his ego getting in the way, that's what I'm talking about, Cool Cat. Like Thaddeus could help him so much. Otto can help him so much. If Dennis can't help him, they don't have a rapport and they can't talk to each other. Okay, Dennis, leave him alone. Don't talk to him. But that's a problem in itself, that like all of a sudden now Dennis can't be open and honest with Scotty because his feelings are getting hurt. Fuck that shit. I'm with Wayne. Tough love. Get over yourself. You play in the NBA. You're paid millions of dollars. You get to play the sport you love. Just because there's one person you don't like on the team, you don't want to listen to him, you're going to make the whole team be shitty because of that? No, fuck that. I mean, seriously, what are we doing here? We trying to just baby a little baby? Do we got to swaddle him too and hold him to our tit? Like, what the fuck? Seriously, that's the way I feel about this at this point. Y'all can be humanistic and be, oh, he's just like this and tone and all this. Fuck that shit. I'm from the Bobby Knight school of shit. I'll yell at a motherfucker to tell him to get right as a coach. Seriously, this is too soft in some ways. The younger players, in some ways, they're never going to get anywhere if they're going to be so soft, is what I'm saying. So we got to be so soft with Scott. Well, man, we're in trouble then. We're in trouble. Maybe he shouldn't be our franchise player if he's that soft, like Cool Cat's saying right now. Fun Guy's saying, okay, Lex, yes, it's him. It's Scotty. Laugh my ass off. Don't kill me. This shit is funny. Our locker room is bad because Scotty isn't listening to Dennis or Fred whenever they want him to drink tea with them. I don't know what it is exactly. I don't know the specifics. I can only go by this and this and this. I'm telling you, if the problems persisted here from last year to this year, it's not somebody who came in this year like Dennis. In some ways, I'm not going to say it's Siakam because the problem wasn't with the team before certain people were here. This is a new problem that's developed in the last couple years. And who's been on our team for the last 2.5 years, for just 2.5 years now? Yeah. And he's very focal and important and central to this team. And in some ways, the middle of it all is the middle of it all. Is just what I'm going to say right now. Now, Scotty, you can fix this. Fix it. We love you. I want you to be the best Raptor you can be, man. That's all I care about. That's the only thing I care about. Fiercely saying, in other news, our dearest and higher aspirations boy has retired. For some reason, it's not put on blast. I wonder why. Oh, idiot. Yeah, I don't care about that guy. I'll gloss over it again. This is what I said the first time we brought it up. Is he should have retired a year or two before that. He shouldn't have retired just now. He maybe should have retired before he even came to the Raptors. Let's just put it that way. Fun Guy saying, everyone should just bend over for everyone so our locker room is good. Everyone has to drink tea together every day. This is normal for teams. Teammates have historically been best friends everywhere. No, that's not what I'm saying. And this is exactly what Dennis said too. The team does not have to get along outside of work, but they're professionals. When they're at work, they need to work together as a team. You know how it is when you go to your job. You may be not liking some of the people that you work with, but you guys have to do certain things together as a team to make the outcome of being productive and getting the things done at work that you need to get done. That's all I'm saying. You could do whatever job you do. You work at FedEx and you're at the sorting line in the morning. You hate the guy that runs route number 12. He's an asshole. You don't want to talk to him. Well, you try not to. You avoid him. But if there's a late delivery or package you need to put out later that day, he may save you and help you out by going to get it for you instead of you having to drive all the other way side of town. I'm just saying teamwork matters, even if you're not actually liking each other. And that's the thing that people need to get over themselves. If they have a problem with somebody like this, because I can see Dennis will play with his worst enemy on his team, and he will play with him just like he's a teammate that nobody would know he has a problem with. I'm telling you, that's the truth about him. Now, some other people may be playing favorites and doing certain things on our team. And I'm not going to even say it's Scott. It could be any of them. I don't know. Cool Cat saying, my niece and I get along well because of my tone and approach more than anyone else in the family. Well, that's good. It could be like, this is different. These are different scenarios and different things. I can totally get what you're trying to say about tone and approach. You really want me to get done right now at 2:00? I know what time it is. I'm going to try and finish. There's a very hot topics today. We need to get this done. I apologize, Adriana. Okay. The whole thing about this, that's your relationship with your niece. That's a different thing. I get it. Maybe there's a lot of people in her life that are not good with tones with her, and that's why she likes you or something. I don't know. This is a different setting. In some ways, I don't have any time for immature young guys coming in the league that aren't fully adults at this point. They're rushing people in just to get money, and they're not learning the game or playing, like being an adult yet, coming into the game. I get it. In some ways, there's arrested development at this point. You don't fully become an adult at 18 anymore. You become an adult later in your 20s at this point. And there's a disconnect in that of immaturity in people that are coming to the league way too early. Grady came to the league too early. Grady should not be in the NBA right now. He should be at Kansas still playing for them right now. It's just they're rushing into the NBA and they're not ready skills-wise or mentally-wise. And I'm sorry, I'm not a kindergarten cop. I don't feel like being like a daycare center. I'm sorry. The NBA should not be a daycare center is what I'm saying right now. Country Kong saying, good morning, Raptors freaks. Good morning to you, Country Kong. Happy 2024. JP, happy to see you. Lex, I'm excited to see and hear from RJ and IQ today. Sorry to see OG and Precious go. I think they'll be great in New York. Who knows? Maybe this will be good for Malachi too. Awesome. Great positive statement by Country Kong. I'm going to give him a dunk real quick. Yeah, I'm excited about the deal. In some ways, I really wish the guys going the other way well. And I'm really, really excited about the promise and prospects of possibly what could happen with our new team. Really am excited. Infamous is saying, I speak to friends in Lakers Nation frequently. They always remind of how much they miss Dennis. We don't understand how much he was appreciated. That's another sign that's telling me that Dennis is not the problem. Lakers Nation hates everybody. They have a real problem with a lot of the people that come through and play for their teams, but they absolutely adore Dennis and value him. And in fact, they're coming into our spaces and saying, Lakers Nation misses you. We want you back. We want you back here. You know, there's something about that. There's something about him being so close with LeBron that LeBron really respects Dennis. That's another sign that people should be listening to Dennis if he has King James's approval. I'm serious, y'all. There's a lot of different things here pointing to why. Dennis is the reigning FIBA MVP of the world. He must be doing something right. Seriously. Do you think Germany is going to the gold medal in the hardest FIBA tournament in the whole entire world? The way they did this summer, if Dennis is a dysfunctional, toxic person to be on the team as the leader of that team? Seriously, let's Columbo this shit. Let's add it up. 1 + 1 = 2. Y'all got to add it up and think about this clearly. Lakers Nation loves him. He just won. I'm telling y'all, I'm serious. What he said on Saturday is not to hurt the team. He's crying out for help, and he wants it to get through to certain people. That's all it is right there. Isaac's saying acquiring IQ is about point of attack. We can pretend the Raptors will build around offense, but this trade was about the fact that we gave up 120 plus points, switching and scrambling, better point of attack, defense, better offense. Oh, wow. This is a great slant and something I didn't really think about that Isaac Campbell's brought up. That in some ways, sure, I think our offense is going to get better, but we had been lacking certain things with the point of attack defense at the guard position that hopefully quickly will shore up. You know what, Isaac, you're getting a dunk for this one because I feel like this is actually a really astute, good point. That the point of attack defense for the Raptors is going to go up starting tonight. Jillian saying, Lex, I said before, RJ and IQ will change the culture at the perfect time. Cool Cat, Dennis said that there's more to closing out games than scoring. He's used to playing as a team. Yeah, I thought that was an interesting thing that he said. He's talking about winning plays. He's talking about winning rebounds, winning blocks, winning defense, winning things that add up to winning. And that in some ways we need to do all those kind of things throughout the whole 48 minutes, and we're not getting them done. Guardian Transit saying, I am mystified by Coloco's absence. What could actually be up with him absent from playing for 8 months? Does anyone really know what is going on? We could sure use the young guy moving forward. Well, we don't know exactly for sure. In fact, Chris Boucher said in an interview he doesn't even know, that he has no idea what's actually wrong with Coloco because they will not divulge his medical problems to even the guys on the team. So his own teammates don't even know what's wrong with him right now and why he's out. We're very sure that it's long COVID. We're pretty much sure that he has some long COVID issues with respiratory issues. He got COVID and he's still not 100%. Now, I speculated, and I could be completely wrong, that this is a clutch tactic, that they're doing some screwy shit, and Rich Paul has his clutch client sitting out for us this year in a punitive way for some reason. I don't know if that's true at all. But Coloco went on the shelf when Nick Nurse went to Philadelphia. Let's just put it that way. So, all right, let's see. And that's totally me conspiracy theory. I'll say that's probably not true what I said, but it's a possibility, right? He's a clutch client. And why is he on the shelf like this mysteriously? I'm wondering. Wayne saying the narrative on Dennis will change when we resume winning consistently. We have not really been outplayed by most teams. Our losses were mostly effort, lack of execution, and missing makeable shots. You know, I'm going to say this about Dennis right now. I feel like Dennis gets unnecessary hate because much like in the natural world of animals, a snake gets hate just because of its reputation. A snake is actually a very good animal for your community. It takes care of rats and mice and pests. And some people hate snakes. They're absolutely just scared of snakes. And they're like, snake, but you don't understand. The snake just looks bad to you. then you just are built up with animosity towards the snake because as a child you were taught to hate the snake. It's dangerous. That's what I'm saying. In some ways, Dennis has a built up reputation in his NBA career that people hate him for, and they haven't switched away from it. They can't change their opinion. They're just set in stone that Dennis is this person, and I hate him. Little streak Dennis, bastard, running around, being chippy and talking so much. That's part of the problem is some people can't amend their opinion of him as a person to know that he's a 10-year vet at this point. He's matured more. He's a different person. He's elevated. But they can't see past the one that they saw. Maybe it's the guy who made the foolish mistake with his contract decision with the Lakers a couple years ago. Maybe it's the peskiness against your team over the years. There's all kinds of reasons why people hate Dennis Schroeder. And in some ways, some of the Raptors fans have not taken to him since he's come here because they're still going off of his old reputation. It's just like a snake. You hate the snake because you were taught to hate the snake. Well, in some ways, you hate Dennis because you were taught to hate Dennis in his career so far. And I would tell a lot of people, if you really want to search your feelings about Dennis Schroeder, are you still going off of the things I just said and not off of the more recent things about him and how he's changed as an older, wiser, more mature NBA player in this league at this point? I wonder that about people in some ways. The narrative is evolves around old information and old biases that people have held over the last 10 years about him. Jillian, thank you for the 11 o'clock news conference. Milbester's here. Knicks fan is here on the day that we're going to get our new Knicks players. Here's Knicks fan. Happy 2024 Raptors Freak. Happy New Year. Knicks play the Wolves at MSG this afternoon to kick off the second half of the season. Anunoby debut as a Knick at MSG against Cat and Gobert and Edwards. You know, in some ways, Milbester, your presence on this channel is going to be very nice going forward with this trade. I'm going to want updates from you on how our former Raptors are doing for you guys. I'm not going to watch y'all's games, but you're so good at updating us on Knicks stuff. How much you come in and check in with us and give us the OG report every once in a while. You can tell us how good he's been doing for the team and how you feel about him being a new player on your team. I would love that if you could do that for us. We appreciate you, Milbester. Happy New Year to you also. Cool Cat saying Raptors offered Pascal 3 years instead of his 4 years. Raptors offered OG a contract but less money and role expansion, so they traded OG. Raptors will have to trade Pascal 4 years to get it done. All right, we'll have to see. And we are looking forward to RJ and IT tonight for sure, Milbester. Yeah, okay, so that's kind of the contract parameters that Grange reported. Yeah, man. Well, we'll just have to see. Siakam, figure out. Stay here, man. Come on. Isaac saying Raptors will sign a backup center in this year's draft, and I hope they bring up a 905 dog to cover some of the tactical plumbing OG brought. Yeah, you want Justice Winslow. I'll bet you do. Let's keep going. And I want to finish this up real soon, guys, because Adriana's being patient, and I do want to get done before noon. All right, let's see. I might skip some of the comments. If you guys have comments that you don't think are really important for me to comment on or read at this point, please, you can retract them to help me speed things up. Oh, wow, there is a lot more here. Let's see. Cool Cat is saying, now I want Dennis off the team. Pascal does not air information publicly. They cut Pascal's interview because the media tried to be so slick with the question. Glad they cut it to limit discussions. Okay. Yeah, I mean, all right, so you want him off the team. There's a lot of people saying this right now. I don't think that that's the right decision. But then again, you guys know that I'm a big stan of his. I don't know. I'm going to give Kweku the dunk because we said that. No. Cool Cat, I mean, we're just going to have to agree to disagree. I think that's destructive. And once again, I don't think Dennis is the problem here. You guys can think he's the problem. A lot of people think he is. David Thorpe thinks he is, but I don't think he is. Let's see. Cool Cat saying Coach Darko is identity to assist to offense. Yeah, assist is his identity right now, and defense is going to come later. I think we are tooled like old school Spurs now. That's what Isaac thinks. Jillian's saying at Cool Cat, what Dennis did was both subtle and gentle. It will help to cause major changes. I hope so. He didn't outright throw anybody under the bus. If you're astute like us, you can kind of read between the lines and see what he's saying. And maybe I'm reading too far between the lines. It could be a very general problem with the whole team, and it isn't totally focused on Scott like I have. I don't know. Fiercely saying, W Stream fam and great convo as usual. Let's go to work later. That's right. Let's win this game tonight. Kevin saying, people are down on RJ, but he can score in a lot of different ways, unlike OG. I think RJ is going to surprise some people. I think that he's clutch. I think that he has 3 levels of scoring. I think that he's really a smart player. I think that he has a winning dog mentality. So I think that these are the kind of things that we're going to really, really enjoy. Is that in some ways he's a competitor. And we're going to have a guy out there that may be competing for us that we have not had since Fred left. And that's something that we may need really badly. Gremlin saying Raptors won this trade. It's not even close. There you go, Gremlin 34. I love it. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Jillian saying at Kevin, Jack Armstrong always on about how well RJ protects the ball. We're in this. Bam. That's great. I mean, the hidden stuff, the intangibles of RJ, I love it. The fundamentals, that's good. Fiercely saying, what does knee jerk mean? It means like a really quick reaction, like a very right away reaction to something. Knee jerk. Oh, knee jerk. Oh, I'm gonna react to that really quick. Cool Cat saying Dennis needs to stop talking about team dynamics. I now do not like him. Lowry protected his guys. I'm done with Dennis. I listened to it. It's not Dennis's team. Media savvy fail. Get him out of here. Yeah, I'm not gonna go with you on this, Cool Cat. I'm not gonna go with you on this at all. No way. In some ways, you're overreacting to this a little bit. Listen, these guys talk about the team to the public. They do from time to time. In some ways, I like his candidness. It's very much like me. So I can't hate him. I'd hate myself if being open and honest about issues and talking about it. Hey, listen, in some ways, if he's in trouble for it, listen, why would Raptors official put it out on their official account? Like they took Siakam's out, but they left Dennis's in. If they had a problem with what Dennis said, they would have cut him out too. You got to think about that. You got to do the addition right, Cool Cat here. You got to do the addition right. You can say it's just Scotty's team, but he's not ready. He's not ready. He's just not ready maturity-wise. And he can't lead this team right now. Y'all may hate me for that, Scotty lovers, but it's just the damn truth. The kid is too young. He's 22. He does not know enough about the NBA to be the leader of our team yet. He will eventually. It could be very soon. It could be in 2 years from now. It could be a year from now. But it's not right now. And that's part of the problem right now. Wayne's saying, Cool Cat, he was be objective. What I see is the Dennis looking as a deficit in defense when really is being left out in the cold. Dennis is not a problem. No grievance was aired. We see it on the court. That's right. Once again, he didn't publicly completely throw somebody specifically under the bus. He said, in general, these are the problems with the team. We can infer what the problems are. I'm taking this step further. If you want to get mad at somebody, get mad at me because I'm throwing people under the bus more than Dennis is. It's just I'm listening to what he's saying and I'm extrapolating. And in some ways, I may not be exactly correct, but I'm trying to read through it and figure it out. Norma say Kareem played until he was 42. He played after 4 years in college. There you go. He was in the league till 42. That's awesome. That's awesome. Players playing in the league after 40 is really good. Really, really good. Younger, the better. Younger, the better. All right. I'm all about that in some ways. Thank you for the cutoff, Isaac. Cool Cat saying, I no longer support him. I was always concerned about how public he was. Showed team stuff on his YouTube, etc. Dude shows fans the basketball game only. He has to straddle a line with what he does on YouTube for sure. And it could very well be part of the reason why he hasn't been posting YouTube stuff is that the Raptors want him to do it a certain way. I don't know. Once again, I'm all access. I love it. I love Dennis giving us such access. Open Gym does it. Why can't he do it? In some ways, he's not really hurting us. I don't know. In some ways, I get what you're saying. Maybe a problem if he's showing off certain things in our facility and other teams don't need to see. It could be other different things that he's showing about NBA life that other people don't need to see, whether it's fans or other teams. I don't know. In some ways, I get your side of it, Cool Cat, because I am trying to listen to you fairly. And maybe he is a little too open about some things that should be more proprietary for the team. All right, maybe. Trevor's saying NBA game today, Minnesota at Knicks, Sportsnet, 3 p.m. And Cool Cat saying, yeah, Scotty, RJ rivals legendary. They will have dinner and laugh over it. I hope that they are fine. I'm saying I'm going to watch this, Cool Cat. And once again, if there's a problem with RJ being on our team, I'm going to think it's Scott's fault. Seriously. Because honestly, he's a common denominator here, whether it's Fred, whether it's Dennis. If there's going to be an issue with Quickly or RJ and it has something to do with Scott, and Scott's the common denominator, and there's a problem there. Tristan saying, thanks, Trevor. Jillian saying, Lex, RJ and Scotty's differences were a long time ago when he was much younger. Continually rejecting teammates. I somehow doubt this. Well, we don't know, is what I'm saying. We don't know. He did it on Twitch. He kept trying out guys who make his team and he kicked them off. So I don't know. I'm just saying, I know we can't totally take Twitch and his 2K team building and apply it to Raptors. But yeah, he was doing tryouts and he was very critical. And if you weren't good enough, he'd kick you off the team and he'd go seek somebody else out, somebody else that was watching. He was going through guys. Fun guy saying, damn, I just got a dunk. Lex, gonna resend what he sees on my next comments. No, listen, I like that you guys are going against me right now. Cool Cat, Fun Guy, this is good. This is how society should be. Differing opinions should allow to exist, and they should be allowed to be at the same time. Nobody has to be exactly right, and I have to quash you and say, no, you guys are wrong, and I'm the only one right. No, that would be horrible. That's a dictatorship, and that's no good. Y'all having dissenting opinions from my own is healthy. And I actually really like that about this channel. So this is important. Lex, Scotty is an alpha personality. Everyone needs to fall in line. Approach him differently. Folks need to learn from Pascal's approach. Listen, if Siakam gets along with him really well, that's fantastic. That means more and more that we should keep Siakam around because he's a part of the puzzle that fits with Scotty's personality. I mean, I get this. In some ways, Dennis, if you can learn a little bit to kiss Scotty's ass in a certain way that makes it okay, do it. I mean, seriously, if you have to, whatever we got to do, whatever we got to do. I just want it fixed. It's just if there was no way of fixing with Fred, then I'm worried that this is going to be a continual thing. If we see this pattern continue, Cool Cat, I will bring it up over and over again because I feel like that was the issue last year. It wasn't Fred. It wasn't Fred. It's not Fred that was the issue last year. It's some people just not getting with Fred being the leader and rejecting it. That was the issue last year. Jillian saying, can't find the news conference. It's not up yet. Kareem saying, I'm doing my due diligence in observing Precious and Flynn in New York. If they become regulars in the rotation and average better than what they did with the Raptors, do we still consider Darko as a developer? Wow. That's an interesting question, Kareem Thomas. If the New York Knicks can develop Malachi and Precious faster than Darko in just a few months this year, I don't know. You can't really read into that. That may be more of a strike on Nick that he couldn't do it with more time with both those guys. I don't know. Fun Guy Sands, Lex, Scotty rejecting teammates, laughing my ass off. What do you think Scotty is? Laughing my ass off. Wow, Scotty's just a normal person and basketball player amongst our team. Who's our franchise guy? Nothing extra to him. I hope you're right. I want to be wrong. I want to be wrong. Seriously, especially with you, Fun Guy. I want to be wrong on this one. You were right in some ways last year, and I had to circle back and say you were right. Well, maybe this is this year's one. And maybe the new evidence will come out and I'll learn more. And I'll be like, you know what, Fun Guy, you were right. And I was wrong. And I apologize. And I apologize to Scott also. I would love for that to be the outcome in this. I'm just saying. That's all. Fun Guy saying, Scotty doesn't go to Masai for anything. People may gravitate towards him, but he doesn't decide other guys' relationships with each other. Dennis can be friends with Siakam and whoever he wants. That's not what I'm talking about. It's about Scott himself. He needs to want to be friends with Dennis on the court. I want to see those guys connecting on the court. I'm not talking about behind the scenes. I'm not talking about being friends. I'm talking about on the court stuff. And if it feels like there's people that aren't connecting correctly as teammates, that's what Dennis is talking about in the interview the other day. He wants to be able to depend on his teammates to have his back on defense. If he's going to get blown by because he gambled on a steal, he wants to know that Scotty's in the lane to stop the guy he's supposed to be guarding, to stop him. If Jakob's in the lane, to stop him and maybe get a shot block. Then there's too often that the point of attack defender is getting blown by and there's nobody catching the person and they're getting an open layup. That's what Dennis is talking about, y'all. That's what he's talking about with trust with his teammates. He wants to have trust that his teammates will have his defensive back. That's what he's talking about. Let's see. Cool Cat saying, Lex, NBA is a business in a capitalistic country. NBA chooses one face for the team and everyone fall in line. Dennis needs to fall in line. This is not the national team that he leads. Yeah, he leads this team too. You can act like it's Scotty's team, but it's not. And this may be the one point we're not going to agree. And we can agree to disagree. That's very much been formalized. Darko's been asked, who is the captain of this team? The team has been asked, and they all say it's a committee. Nobody is ahead and above beyond everybody else. It's not Scotty's team. It has not been designated. his team, and everybody needs to fall in line behind him yet. He is not the absolute captain of this team. There's a committee that leads this team, and Dennis is a part of that committee as well as Scott. So you need to recognize that. It's not Scotty's team in that sense of leadership. He may be the franchise player and the person we're building the future around, but he's not the captain of the team. And he doesn't have that kind of leadership over our team right now because he doesn't have it. He's not good at it. He's not grown enough. Let's just put it that way. Jillian's saying Joker, and Cool Cat's saying love the professional Mike. Lex, thank you. I appreciate that, Cool Cat. I know I got it for Christmas from my niece and nephew. It's very nice. Dennis was hired for what he is. That's right, Jillian. That's right. And Cool Cat's saying Lex, when Kawhi joined, he got the superstar treatment. I know, and Kyle hated it. Absolutely hated it. That was the biggest problem Kyle had in the championship year, why he was being all grumpy and mad. He was mad because we were treating Kawhi special. He said, no, he shouldn't be able to skip this. No, he shouldn't get this extra treatment. He should be just like all of us, just like DeMar and I were. And I don't like that he's coming in to replace DeMar and he's acting like he's got that. So, no, I agree with you. And that was part of why Kyle hated that. He absolutely hated that during the championship year. In fact, that was a lot of the animosity between Kyle and Kawhi that came out later that people told everybody about later. Wayne's saying, we're keeping Masai honest. Seek talent from Giants, yes. But check your bias and detach when necessary. Masai has proven to do effective management of his preferences. Doesn't mean we don't check him. There you go. Wayne, once again, got it on point. All right, I'm getting real close. 5 minutes till. MSJ saying irrevocable means something can't be fixed. Irrevocation is the root word, meaning cancellation. Like in Flynn, being irrevocable as an NBA point guard. He's been relocated and revocated. Very happy. Chris, that's such a wordy little statement. I'm going to give you a dunk because it was kind of funny. And I like the lesson that you have there. You've given us a lesson in vocabulary. Very good. Let's see. Cool Cat saying, Lex, we have to get accustomed to having a superstar on our team, and we will go through Scotty's learning development process. Scotty's young. Give him time and grace to learn and grow. I will. I promise. And listen, I won't be critical like him about this if we see good results coming forward. That's all I'm asking for right now. I just want to see them do better and be more connected. They don't even have to win. I just have to perceive that they are connected and they're bonding and they're doing better in that department. That's all. Fun guy saying, I see them at practice, so we should hear from them. After, guess it's not a formal conference, and Masai might just be talking to us in a reporter mic's in the corner as well after practice. So you're watching them practice right now. Okay. I want to get off so I can watch the press conference. Norma's saying, I have league pass, and I usually watch each game twice, once on Raptors broadcast and the opposing broadcast. Many opposing broadcasts really respect Siakam. I agree. Yeah, and they should. Cool Cat saying, Scotty's personality is alpha mode as a Leo. Get personalities that will fall in line. Yes and no. I mean, I agree with that to a degree. Milbester saying, Knicks trade with Raptors help Pistons and their streak versus Toronto due to missing their three players. Yeah. That's true. Mischief saying Stephen A. Smith said he's sick of the Knicks. Milbester saying Detroit should be glad, especially how the Knicks swept them 4-0 last season. They helped the Pistons end the streak versus the Raptors in the trade. Yeah, I won't disagree with that, Milbester. Stephen A. is such a fake Knicks fan, is what Milbester said. Jillian's saying, Lex, what do you mean Yak isn't getting along with some players? I don't know if Yak's getting along with players. I think he's getting along with players. I just feel like him and Scotty aren't that warm with each other. I don't know. In some ways, Yak's coming from Popovich's world, and he sees things in a certain way. And I don't think he's exactly happy with how connected our team is. And once again, I feel like it all revolves around Scott. Like, I just want to see these guys like bonding more. You know, when they showed the birthday party for Grady, Scotty looked like he was all pissed and sitting in the corner. He wasn't even talking to anybody. And everybody else was like smiling and happy. And Scotty was kind of pouting at the table. I'm looking at a lot of stuff, y'all. Seriously. In some ways, I just want him to get with it in some ways. Let's see. Scotty is not looking for a family or friends. He's a fierce competitor that wants to win it to cure it all. Scotty has been groomed from day one as elite. Learn how to deal with elite stars. Well, bro needs to, seriously, once again, this is not a good argument for him, Cool Cat. You're making him sound like a pretentious elitist. And that's not a good argument for what I'm trying to say today. I need him to be a team player. I need him to be more like Jokic. We can act like, okay, he's an elite prep star from the U.S. He's the top number 4 pick in the draft. That's all great. But RJ's number 3. And if it's really about rank, RJ got picked number 3 in the draft. So, I mean, where's that? RJ's just his prep star too. RJ's just got all the same stuff this guy's got in some ways. Is he going to come in and carry himself in a more professional, mature manner? I'll bet he will. And that's what I'm talking about right there. Fun guy saying, everything you're saying is normal, bro, and I love it. Yes, 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 yell. Coaches yell, players yell, everybody yells, even rookies. Yelling is a part of communicating a game sequence. That's right. No dilly-dallying around. No going at it half-assed. Go at it directly and be direct, honest. That's what I'm saying. Jillian saying, Milbester, we're aware of the team situation last game. Thank you. Cool Cat saying, notice that Pascal and Scotty have no problems. They should learn Pascal's approach. Well, not everybody has Pascal's specific mix of personality to be that talented athletic-wise, but easygoing is not normal in the NBA. Everybody's an alpha like Scott to get to where they are in the NBA, and that's just part of it. In some ways, this shouldn't be like alpha bucks, like deer butting heads or something like that, or kangaroos punching each other in the yard. No, it shouldn't be like that. In some ways, people need to just like be a team as a unit, and that's what Dennis is saying. The German team is a unit. The Raptors team is not. Can we get to be more of a unit? Can we connect more? That's all he was saying the other day. And that's all we want as fans also. Let's see. Wayne's saying Kawhi is just antisocial. Stephen A has forgotten more than you will ever know, Milbester. Show respect to your elders. Don't have to agree with them. He's a New Yorker to the core. Well, he's saying he's a fake New York fan, and I agree. He probably is. I don't think that Milbester's wrong. He turns on them often. He really does. All right, drink water. I don't got time. I got to keep going. Mo's saying W streams, W vibes. Keep at it always, Lex. Good times, good times. Go Raptors. Let's keep climbing. Space Cadet saying, Cool Cat, Pascal was frustrated by younger players last year too. A report came out after the season. Yeah, he's just not vocal about it. He may hide it more. Dennis doesn't a shit disturber. He'll say what he has to say. MSJ saying maybe Flynn can star in Spike Lee movie called Could I Call It I Did the Right Thing? A movie about a guy who leaves the NBA to play in China and saves the honor of the NBA by not playing. I'm borderline thinking about a dunk for you, but maybe not. Jillian saying, Lex, let's talk about Cavs game now, please. Thanks. I'm with this. It's a preview for the Cavs game and not necessarily all the issues going on. Cool Cat saying Dennis going public is not good for the locker room trust. I want him off the team. Okay, well, you've been noted. I disagree with this, and I think that what he did was healthy in some ways. Jillian saying at MSJ, laugh out loud. You write this screenplay. All right, Jillian liked what he did, so I'm going to give him a dunk for his silly Spike Lee comment. All right, here we go. Let's see. Milbester saying, Jillian, Stephen A wanted the Knicks to trade for Donovan Mitchell when he was in Utah, and real Knicks fans knowing Nate Age was trying to fleece us, giving up tons of picks with 7 guys for him. Well, that's what he did. He fleeced Cleveland instead. I would get AI to and post it to Facebook. Okay. Space Cadet saying, Dennis just preaching what Freddie reiterated last year. Nurse too. That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of people saying the same thing. And that's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. Milbester saying, even after not trading him, all right, we're not doing any of this, Milbester. I'm overtime right now. G saying, MJ, he was one of the only superstars. Now there are many. Players now have a choice where to play. Do they want to play with a Joker or an alpha? That you need to get in line behind different times. Well, that's what I'm saying. That may be the difference between winning and losing. An alpha that's so alpha and it has to be catered completely to, that's a problem player. You want to be like a Jokic. You want to be a team player that's like family. You know, I'm bringing these guys to Serbia and I'm showing them my horse racing and we're drinking Serbian alcohol and we're having a blast. And Aaron Gordon's like, love Serbia now. You know, I want shit like that with my team leader. A guy who's like community and family. Scotty can be private. Scotty can have his life with Cardi and Twitch and all that stuff. But in some ways, he needs to be open in his arms to his whole team. Let's see. Jillian saying sorry to Adriana. Milbester saying, plus the Knicks saved some cap space from the RJ and IQ trade. There you go. And Country Kong saying, Lex, the Knicks traded a lot of their shot creation. I think OG is going to take off alongside Brunson and Randall. Precious fills their backup big needs. Malachi is only behind Brunson and McBride. Yeah, he's the third one now, like he should be. Cool Cat saying, Lex, MJ was rude and scolding to his teammates. He just wanted to win. Ask Steve Kerr how he treated by MJ. Yeah, he punched Steve Kerr in the face. He punched them in practice. I'm not saying it was right, and it's a different era, but that's what it takes to win. If you want to be Michael Jordan and be perfect in the finals, well, in some ways you got to be like him. But like Mike, you got to be like Mike. You want to be like Mike? Well, you might have to punch Steve Kerr in the face. Fun guy saying, I like your energy today, Lex. Maybe it's the mic and you feel that professional vibe, but hopefully we will get wild, crazy Lex tomorrow after a good win today. Hey, listen, you're going to get Lex however Lex is. And if the mic's an improvement, I love it. I love hearing that. Some good feedback on the mic. That's good. Not the feedback that, you know what I mean. Feedback, no feedback. Kweku's saying Lakers only miss Schroeder because Gabe Vincent is injured. No, I think they like his personality. They like who he was. Like these Laker fans really like him. And that's a tell. Lakers fans hate most of the players that come through there. Seriously. All right, let's see. I'm going to skip Milbester's New York stuff. Fun guy saying, to be honest, I don't even care about locker room problems or this or that. Just win and bring the contention. Who cares about how much friendship is in the locker room? I could give two shits, to be honest. You know what? You're getting a dunk for that, fun guy, because I'm with you on that also. I don't care. I just want the results. Now, if we have to go in and dissect where the problems are, then that's what I will do. And that's all I'm doing right now. I just want the results, like Fun Guy's saying, and so we'll figure it out. Jillian's saying, yes, Fun Guy, this is your kind of Lex for sure. Space Cadet saying, clearly the locker room issues matter given this year and last year. They do matter because they're affecting us winning. Jillian saying, oh my God, Cavs might take advantage of Raptors' new team. Okay, prepare for the kill, Raptors. Let's go. Eat Cavs. There you go, Jillian. I like it. And once again, Milbester, if it's just a Knicks thing, I'm sorry. I got to skip because my girlfriend's waiting for me. Okay, it jumped. I want to make sure. I should probably just get going. No. Okay. Cool Cat saying we're not a FIBA league. We're an NBA league. It is bull marketed off individualism, not family team. NBA team release you when you do not meet company pocket. Well, we'll see if y'all are right. All these fans thinking that Dennis is going to get traded or off the team because of what he said and the writing on the wall. Well, we'll see if y'all are right. We'll see if y'all are right. If Dennis did something so bad, we'll see his ass out the door then, Cool Cat. I don't think you're right, though. And you're going to see Dennis on this team still and probably for the whole entirety of his contract. Lex, I don't even care about those who hate Schroeder. Yeah, I don't want people to hate Schroeder. They shouldn't. Don't hate him, please. Country Kong saying New York is going to love Malachi. He's their type of point guard like Suggs. He works hard on defense, hits threes, has a nice handle. So far from the nursery, I expect Malachi to make the rotation. Okay, Country Kong, I'm just going to pass on that. It's late in the chat, and so I'm just going to go. Milbester is saying RJ is going to fit with the Raptors. He's back home in Canada, family and friends, and can build his career with Raptors. His dad as well, and Steve Nash connections. I will miss him, but I will miss him, but wish him well. There you go. I like that, Milbester. And Fun Guy saying, damn, y'all need to stop commenting. There's like another 2 hours of comments for Lex. Let my ass off. He's going to be cooked. Yeah, I'm going to skip all of Milbester's Nick stuff. Jillian, thank you for taking back some comments. Lex, you use technology to control the time on here the other day, so why not do it regularly? What technology did I use the other day? I don't remember. Let's see. Smash the like button. I appreciate that, Jillian. Let's see. Blackhawk saying there's a saying, be careful what you ask for. Dennis did not ask reporters. The reporters asked Dennis, read into what you want. There you go. Dennis did not ask the reporters. The reporters asked Dennis. That's exactly what it is. The reporters asked him a question. He answered it. That's it. If he's on the Raptors show, he's answered stuff like this before. He's been very open and honest with Blake and William Liu on the Raptors show when he does those interviews too. There's been team questions during that show too, where he's been very open and forthright, just like he was. So there's been opportunities from Bobby and Masai to say, hey, don't do that anymore. But they haven't. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Fun Guy saying Andrew Wiggins, Kuminga, and a pick, and maybe even Moody for Siakam will take this team to a new level, especially shooting and offensively. It's an interesting idea. We'll have to see. Let's see. In reality, Raptors freak. Toronto has a lot of forwards, and Knicks need a backup power forward and another forward at front court. Trade was made to fix the defense to help the rim with Hartenstein. Yeah, I agree with all that. I like Malachi Flynn, but I don't think he's going to play much of a role because they extended McBride. Yeah, I did see they extended McBride immediately after the deal. Jillian saying, I'm a Fun Guy, a Moody on the Raptors team. I approve. That's cool. I like that. Country Kong saying, I like McBride since he played in college. I wanted the Raptors to draft him. He's a high-level defender and can hit the threes. I think his weakness is shot creation. I think Malachi will surpass him. That's interesting. I don't see that. Especially since they just invested in him. Let's see. I am going to skip this stuff. Jillian's saying 12 o'clock. Smash the like button. Vote Scotty. Enjoy Adriana. Raptors eat Cavs. Yeah, I like that. I'm going to skip all the New York stuff. I'm sorry. And Fun Guy's saying, Lex is actually funny. Laugh out loud. This Scotty stuff is hilarious. It's just so much a reach. Laughing my ass off. All this fuss of something that's like 99% non-existent about Scotty. Who knows? Who knows? ZZ's asking, where do we watch the press conference for today? I would go to Raptors' official YouTube account. It will probably pop up there first. And it will probably be live on there. Well, hopefully, we'll see. The Fun Guy saying, I'm confused about Scotty eating at a birthday party, being negative. We don't know what we don't know. Scotty has a lot of pressure on him. It's probably too much. Lex got to go. Yeah, I think we lost that game that night, and that may have been part of why he was upset. But everybody's like singing happy birthday to Grady, and it just looked like Scott was kind of sucking in the corner. And I don't know why. Media is talking to RJ right now. Okay, I'll have to get off here. All right. Jordan's saying Dennis is a FIBA gold medalist. The rest of the team doesn't want to take an example from him as a vet. We got our bench warmers like Otto and Thad. Yeah, I like what Jordan's saying there. Let's see. Pictures of IQ in practice are already up. I like that. Fun Guy saying, yeah, Lex, we have our blessings to cut it off anytime you want. These comments are still pouring in, so not going to stop. All right. Monique saying, probably after the game, Jillian, about the press conference, you never know. It'll be up soon. Sorry, Jillian, it's hard to comprehend your comment. I'm not sure if it's a question of rhetoric. Y'all are probably just not totally lining up. It's fine. Troy saying, hey, Lex, should I eat my words about not watching the Raptors anymore after losing to the Pistons? I don't know. Do you want to see RJ Barrett in a Raptors jersey? That's what I would say. All right. Yeah. No more members. No more. Nobody cut it. No more talking either of y'all. The birthday party. I haven't seen that video. It was a Grady Dick's birthday party. Scotty was kind of not involved. He was just kind of sitting there. He wasn't not showing any emotion. It's weird. Let's see. Jordan didn't Nowitzki win a gold medal for Germany or not? I think he might have at some point. Fun Guy saying, I think I got your comment now, and I agree. We don't know because we're not around these guys. Yeah. And stop talking, freaks. All right. Thank you, Jillian. All right, y'all, real quick. The injuries for the Cavaliers are Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, Ricky Rubio, and Ty Jerome. And on our side is Garrett Temple and Koloko, of course. They're saying that Quickly's status for Monday's game versus the Cavaliers is still up in the air on the trade pending. And Barrett said after the Raptors morning shoot around that he's unsure if he'll play in Monday's game against the Cavs. So it may not be making their debut tonight, unfortunately. The referees for tonight are Kevin Cutler, Scott Twardowski, and Sayesh Mehta. Cutler favors the Raptors, and Twardowski and Mehta favor the Cavaliers. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching me today. Here's their main event marquee matchup. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Scotiabank Arena. Tonight we have a matchup between the Toronto Raptors and the Cleveland Cavaliers. On this corner for the Cleveland Cavaliers, we have Jarrett Allen. And on this corner on the other side, we have Jakob Poeltl. And tonight it's going to be a tug-of-war. Let's see who wins this tug-of-war between the two big men, Poeltl and Allen. We'll have to find out tonight at Scotiabank Arena. The brand new Raptors, look, are they coming in? We're going to see Quickly and Barrett. I'd like to see that. Really would. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and join if you feel like it too. Jillian, I mean, you should listen to Jillian Milbester. What are you doing? You keep putting stuff in here. All right, y'all. Thank you. I appreciate y'all. I'll have the reaction tomorrow. Hopefully a good win over the Raptors, over the Cavs tonight. Let's get this new look going in the right direction. Get this new year off in the right direction with a big W at home. Y'all are going on the road. You're going to play at home for a while, so you need to win at home tonight, Raptors. So take care of business. Let's get it done. All right, y'all. I appreciate everybody. Even the disagreements and all this stuff is healthy. And I like that y'all are not agreeing with me because I want to be wrong about Scott. I really, really do. I completely want to be wrong, but I'm speculating just in case, just so we can kind of figure out what's going on. All right, y'all. I love y'all. Let's go Raptors. Let's beat the Cavs tonight. We got to win tonight. Let's get that W.